Every night I smear my girlfriend's feet with stinky mud. Then I sprinkle a whole kilo of flour on them. Right after, I pretend to fall asleep. And every night at 2 a.m. she wakes up. She pulls out one of my hairs and sneaks out. So I follow the muddy footprints she leaves behind. But what I didn't expect was just when I was about to find out where she goes, I ran into a little girl about to be hit by a big truck. At that critical moment, I rushed over and saved her. But I was sent flying 10 meters after being hit, barely clinging to life. Just as my heart was about to stop beating, a cold mechanical voice exploded in my mind. Tycoon system binding successful. Tycoon funds, 1,000,000,001, have been deposited into the host Lin Chun's black card. You have acquired the golden eyes skill. You can appraise the value of everything. See through people's intentions. You have acquired Grandmaster level Kung Fist skill. Can do battle eye suddenly opened my eyes wide and felt my body overflowing with unprecedented power. I could see even more. Even hear a Maybach speeding 5 kilometers away. In less than 2 minutes, the black Maybach pulled up in front of me. A pair of long, slender legs, wrapped in black stockings, jumped out. The person dashed crazily into the crowd. Duadwo, where are you? The girl I just saved burst into tears. A person rushed over and scooped Duadwo up into their arms. After making sure Duadwo had only minor scrapes, they looked up at me, eyes brimming with deep gratitude. Sir, thank you for saving Duadwo. I'm Su Wanqing of the Su Group. Please tell me what I can do for you. My Su family would risk everything to repay you. Lin Chun stared at the woman before him. Her information appeared on his retina. Name, Su Wanqing. Age, 25. Position, General Manager of Su Group. Net worth, over 800 billion. If it were before today, this should have been Lin Chun's best chance. To turn his life around in this city, to climb up to the Su family would mean a massive reward. Even now, if Lin Chun had 10 billion, it couldn't even compare to a fraction of the Su family's wealth. But Lin Chun simply glanced at them calmly and said, no need, then disappeared into the rainy night. Su Wanqing watched Lin Chun's back, then turned to her assistant and commanded, I want all his information in 3 minutes. He's my benefactor. I, Su Wanqing, will not let him just disappear like that. Back at home, Lin Chun set his sights on the 2 people on the wall. Lin Chun's golden eyes memory recall function activated. He quickly learned that the mastermind behind his parents' deaths was his stepmother Wang Kuifan. And every night his girlfriend Chun Lu sneaked out to meet a rich playboy. All right, I'll start by taking care of my stepmother Wang Kuifan. Then I'll deal with Chun Lu. She and the wealthy man she's hooking up with won't even be able to work as food delivery drivers. Their only choice will be to become beggars. The next morning, Lin Chun arrived at the Ling family villa. He had just entered the villa when he heard the sound of smashing in the hall, along with Wang Kuifan's hysterical screams. Stop smashing. I'll have it done soon. Lin Chun will sign the air transfer papers. Then the villa will be mine. I'll finally have enough money to pay you all back. A slap abruptly cut off her cries. Lin Chun pushed open the door and entered. The living room was a mess. Wang Kuifan, usually arrogant and proud, was now kneeling on the floor, hair disheveled, with a bright red handprint on her face. At the center of the living room sat Tiger Bro, a lone shark from Jiang Cheng's underworld, with 4 thugs holding steel pipes behind him. Lin Chun strolled in leisurely, acting as if he saw nothing as he walked into the center of the room. When Tiger Bro saw Lin Chun ignoring him, he immediately became furious. He reached out as if to slap Lin Jian. Hey, is this the loser young master? Lin Chun suddenly turned to look at Tiger Bro. Tiger Bro's information also flashed through Lin Chun's mind.
Target, Zhao combat power 65.
Peak level for an ordinary person, but still weak. Extremely superstitious and suffering from a strange illness. Every night at midnight, severe heart pain. Lin Chun stayed still and calmly said, if you touch my face, you'll never be able to hold chopsticks again in this life. Also, does your angina attack right at midnight every night? Tiger Bro's hand froze in midair. Not even his underlings know that secret. How does this kid know? Get a fortune telling, quick. Tiger Bro's voice trembled. Lin Chun didn't respond. He walked straight toward the ransacked shelves. looking for a purple sandalwood box his mother had left behind. When Wang Kuifan saw Tiger Bro hold back, she immediately scrambled up, shouting, "Bro, he's the main heir in line. Force him to sign the property transfer. The house will be yours." Tiger Bro's eyes flickered, with tens of millions of debt looming. Some fear was nothing. His face grew hard. "Guys, hold him down. If he doesn't sign today, break one of his fingers." Right after that, the four thugs swung their steel pipes and rushed at Lin Chen. With his back to them, Lin Chen sighed. "Why do you have to force me to get rough?" Before he finished speaking, he spun around suddenly, and with a simple side kick, boom! The thug in front was sent flying like he'd been hit by a truck. He flew back 5 meters and smashed hard into the wall. He passed out instantly. The room fell silent. The 3 remaining thugs screeched to a stop. They swallowed hard. Lin Chen pulled his leg back. By the coffee table, he found the sandalwood box his mother left behind. He wiped away the dust, then turned to face a dumbfounded Wang Kuifan. "Wang Kuifan, haven't you always wanted this house? And the Lin family property?" "Well, I'll give it to you now." Wang Kuifan was stunned. Lin Chen looked at Tiger Bro, flashing a subtle smile.
He pulled out his black bank card.
"Did you bring the card reader?" "The loan's ready. Total, 58 million. Lin Chen tossed over his card. "Charge it all." First transaction successful. Wang Kuifan's face exploded with wild joy. "This idiot is actually willing to pay off my debt." She immediately shivered with excitement. "Lin Chen, at least you know what's good for you. Since you paid it off for me, our debt is settled. Get out of here. This house is officially mine now." But the next second, Lin Chan's words sent her straight to hell. "Who said I'd paid your debt for you?" Looking at Wang Kuifan, his eyes played with amusement. "That money was to buy your debt. From now on, you owe the money to me?" Wang Kuifan's smile froze. Tiger Bro immediately caught on. He changed his attitude in an instant.
He stared viciously at Wang Kui.
"Boss Wang, now your creditor is young Master Lin. By the way, young Master Lin, is there anything I can do for you? Need me to help collect interest?" Fifth brother decided to cling tightly to Lin Chen, the big Buddha. Lin Chen carried the sandalwood box to the doorway. He stopped and looked at Wang Kui. "I'll give you only 2 options. First, move out of this villa immediately. Leave with nothing. You're not allowed to take even a single piece of clothing with you. Second, pay back the debt you owe me within 3 days. 1 second late and I'll call the police. I'll sue you for fraud and embezzlement." Then Lin Chen turned his gaze to Tiger Brother. "If you don't make sure Wang Kuifan finishes it on time, I'll sue you for intentional injury. There's surveillance footage at the entrance as evidence. These crimes are enough to put you both away for a long time." After finishing, Lin Chen strode out of the villa. Behind him came Wang Kuifan's heartbreaking cries, and the sound of Tiger Brothers' group smashing things to clear the place. Listening to those sounds, Lin Chen stood in the sunlight, feeling completely refreshed. But the next second, the system issued a new task. Spend 100 million within 2 hours. Failure penalty. The system will randomly remove 1 physical function, like being permanently stuck at 3 seconds. Lin Chen read the penalty description.
His lips twitched.
The system's pretty ruthless, but spending money, this has got to be the easiest task in the world. Lin Chen hailed a taxi, headed straight to Jiangcheng Dingxi Mall SKP. Just after Lin Chen got out of the car, a red Ferrari pulled up in front of him, roaring arrogantly, stopped right in his way. The window rolled down. It was his ex-girlfriend Chen Lu. He took off his sunglasses, his eyes full of disdain. "Wow, isn't this Lin Chen? I heard you got kicked out and started delivering food. How did you end up at such a high-end place? The security here won't let beggars in." Back when the Lin family fell apart, Chen Lu dumped Lin Chen at lightning speed and went straight into the arms of a rich heir. Lin Chen looked at her. Instead of getting angry, he actually smiled. "Just right, spending money. Could use an audience?" "Yeah, here to beg." Lin Chen adjusted his cuff, smiled brightly. "But today I'm not here for food. I want the whole mall." At that moment, the car door opened. Chen Lu linked arms with a man wearing a flashy Versace shirt and got out. The man's beady eyes sized up Lin Chen top to bottom, his face full of mockery. "Lulu, this is your ex-boyfriend, the food delivery guy? Pretty boy looks decent. Too bad he's a broke loser." Even the air conditioning here charges by the minute. Can you afford 10 minutes with a single delivery? Chanlu clung to the man's arm, laughing like crazy. Lin-chan, let me introduce you. This is my husband now, Zhang Jikang. His family's in the building materials business. He's worth several hundred million.
He emphasized several hundred million.
Gave Lin-chan a provocative look, seeming to expect shame or anger on his face, or a feeling of total embarrassment. But he was disappointed. Lin-chan just stood there calmly, his eyes distant as if he were looking at thin air. Move aside. Lin-chan stepped forward, his tone unchanged. Hey, you don't know how to take a hint, huh? Zhang Jikang got pissed at Lin-chan's indifference, stepped out, blocked Lin-chan's way, and reached to push Lin-chan's shoulder. Just as Zhang Jikang's hand was about to touch Lin-chan, a faint golden flash appeared deep in Lin-chan's pupils. Zhang Jikang's info popped up. Target, Zhang Jikang. Status, second generation nouveau rich, tough on the outside. Current gear, genuine Versace shirt. Richard Mille RM, 011 watch, fake. Movement is domestic dandong movement. Gucci belt, real. Asset status, maxed out credit cards. Robbing Peter to pay Paul. Rented a Ferrari for one day to chase Chun Lu. Rental fee still unpaid. After reading Lin Chun, his smile instantly turned playful. He leaned in close to Zhang Jikang, lowered his voice, but just enough for a few passing pedestrians to hear. What a shame. The carbon fiber case pattern on a genuine Richard Mille is a random texture. Yours is way too uniform, right? Plus, the real calendar window jumps. Right now it's 1:59. How about we wait and see? If your watch jumps right at 2 o'clock. Zhang Jikang's face changed instantly. This watch was indeed a $300 knockoff he bought, specifically to fool gold diggers like Chun Lu. But he never expected. A delivery guy could see right through it in one glance. You're talking nonsense. This is a real watch. What do you know? Zhang Jikang instinctively covered his wrist, shouting fiercely but with little backbone. Lulu, don't pay attention to this mad dog. Let's go buy you a bag at Hermes, he said, pulling the clueless Chun Lu, trying to rush into the mall, obviously wanting to escape. Coincidentally, I need to buy something too. Let's go together. Lin Chan followed behind, unhurried. This place is SKP. If you can afford even a pair of socks here, I'll eat them right on the spot. Zhang Jikang acted like he'd just heard the funniest joke ever. Stop to mock him. Remember what you said. Lin Chan stepped through the revolving door, entering the well-air-conditioned main hall. SKP's first floor has the world's top luxury brands gathered. The air was filled with expensive fragrance. Welcome, Patek Philippe. The greeter at the door bowed politely. But when she saw Zhang Jikang and Chun Lu come in right after, her eyes clearly brightened. Her smile became even wider. Sir, ma'am, welcome. Zhang Jikang, wanting to regain lost face, deliberately said loudly, bring out your most expensive watch. I want to pick one for my girlfriend. As he spoke, he gave Lin Chan a provocative glance. How come the delivery guy is here using the AC? Be careful not to scratch the glass counters. You couldn't pay for the damage even if you sold yourself. Several store sales advisors very tactfully gathered around Zhang Jikang, while Lin Chan was left on the sidelines. A girl who had just graduated, wearing an intern badge, hesitantly walked up to Lin Chan, handed him a cup of water. Hello, sir. Is there anything I can help you with? If you're just looking around, that's totally fine. Her eyes were clear. She showed no contempt at all because of Lin Chan's clothing. I'm not here to look. Lin Chan took a sip of water, said quietly, did you hear that?
He's not looking, so I guess he's just here for the AC.
Where's security? Why are they letting just anyone in here? Chun Lu heard this and immediately scoffed. Sir, if you aren't buying anything, please don't take up our service resources. There's a lounge area over there. An experienced sales associate walked over. A harsh tone. Lin Chan didn't respond to the sales associate, but looked straight at the intern in front of him and gave a slight smile. Then he pointed at the Stardust 6102P in the center of the counter and swept his gaze over the entire row of parrots next to it. The Stardust watch, as well as this whole row. I'll take them all. The place was dead silent the entire time. Lulu, did you hear that? He said he'll take everything. That's over 20 million yuan in total, right? Has this guy lost his mind delivering food all day? Zhang Yikang burst out in exaggerated laughter. Sir, please don't joke around. This is Patek Philippe, not a street market. If you keep speaking nonsense, I'll have to call security. The senior sales associate's face instantly darkened, thinking Lin Chun was causing trouble. Sir, that Stardust 6102P is priced at 2.8 million. And you need to be a VIP and qualify for a waiting list. The intern was terrified. She stammered, "Qualification?" Lin Chun reached into his cheap jeans pocket and pulled out a black card. He gently placed it on the glass counter, making a crisp sound.
Card password is 6/8.
If it doesn't go through, I'll eat this counter. Lin Chun's voice wasn't loud, but carried an overpowering authority. The intern took the card with trembling hands, looking at the store manager for help. The store manager was an experienced middle-aged man. He had been watching carefully the whole time. The moment he saw that black card in Lin Zhen's hand, his pupils shrank to a pinhead. That's the legendary Centurion Infinite black card. No, that's not right. This card is even more exclusive. It's the Supreme Dragon card. Only 10 exist worldwide. Quick, swipe it. The manager's voice was trembling, even cracking a little. Bring the pause machine over. I'll swipe it myself. Keep pretending. Waving a barbershop membership card, who are you fooling? Let's see if you can really swipe it. Zhang Jikang was still laughing. The first transaction went through. The printer on the POS machine sounded off, like the judgment of God at that moment. The manager stared at the receipt, dizzied by the string of zeros. His legs went weak, and he nearly collapsed before Lin Chun. Honored sir, the 28.5 million transaction is complete. We'll pack up all these watches for you immediately. Would you like them delivered to your residence or otherwise? The manager held the black card with both hands and bowed 90 degrees, humbled to the extreme. No need. Lin Chun casually put the 2.8 million Stardust watch on his wrist and said, "Put the others in a bag. I'll carry them out myself." A bag. The manager was stunned. Packing millions worth of watches in a bag? Zhang Jikang and Chun Lu were completely dumbfounded. How is this possible? Didn't the Lin family go bankrupt? Wasn't he kicked out of the house? When he swiped the card just now, he didn't even blink. Zhang Jikang felt like his face had been mercilessly slapped. It stung terribly. He had just been showing off his fake 1.5 million watch. But Lin Chun went and bought the real deal over 20 million worth and took them out like they were cabbages. Chun Lu was even more stunned, staring at Lin Chun's wrist, where that dazzling Stardust watch was. She was filled with regret. If she hadn't mocked Lin Chun earlier, if she still could... Lin Chun. Chun Lu's voice was trembling, trying to force a flirty smile, shook off Zhang Jikang's hand, and moved closer to Lin Qin. So you were testing me all along. I actually never forgot about you. Zhang Jikang only pestered me. I never loved him at all. Get lost. Lin Chun didn't even glance at her, leaving her with just the one word. Then he lifted the bag of luxury watches, like he was carrying out the trash, who just said they'd eat their socks. He looked at Zhang Jikang, whose face was pale. Zhang Jikang stepped back, bumping into the counter. What do you want? My dad is... I don't care about your dad. Lin Chun turned and walked out. As he passed the senior sales associate who'd looked down on him, he paused a moment. The sales associate was shaking all over. Give the entire commission for this order to her. Lin Chun pointed at the intern. As for you, I hope I won't see you here next time. The manager immediately understood, knowing to fire Liu right away. Hurry up and thank this gentleman. Your commission today is enough to buy a house in Jiangcheng. Stepping out of Patek Philippe, Lin Chun glanced at his system panel. 28.5 million has been spent. 71.5 million limit remaining. Time remaining, 1 hour 20 minutes.
He walked straight into the Armani flagship store next door.
3 of each L-sized new season item on this floor. The limited edition crocodile suitcases from Gucci next door. Use them to pack the clothes. 100 sets of the La Mer product line. Let the delivery guys at the station use them as hand wipes. For the next hour, the entire SKP mall experienced an unprecedented earthquake. A mysterious high roller in Uniqlo swept through the luxury stores like an army. He didn't even look at the prices.
He just kept saying, swipe the card and pack it.
The mall's general manager brought 20 security guards himself to follow behind him, in charge of carrying everything. Jiang Jiqiang and Chun Lu trailed behind like two forgotten clowns, dully following along. Where did all his money come from? Chun Lu dug her nails into her palms, her eyes reddening. It has to be dirty money. I'm going to report him. Jiang Jiqiang gnashed his teeth. Suddenly, the mall's PA system came on. Dear customers, SKP will close half an hour early today. An esteemed guest has reserved the rooftop garden restaurant and invited renowned pianist Lang Lang for a live performance. The crowd was in an uproar. Lin Chun stood at the escalator on the second floor, smiling slightly. This was also one of the system's spend missions. Just this one service cost 5 million. He glanced at the system panel. Mission complete. Current spending, 100.5 million. Congratulations, host, on unlocking your first extravagance achievement. Cash rebate granted. 10x multiplier. 1 billion cash has been credited to your account. Transferring 51% ownership of SKP Mall. Contract officially enacted. Charm bonus applied. Constitution bonus applied. Lin Chan was stunned for a moment. SKP now belongs to him. The mall's GM got the call, and his face instantly went pale. He hurried over to Lin Chun and knelt down on one knee. The boss doesn't know the boss has arrived. Sorry for not welcoming you properly. I am Wang Dehai, the general manager of SKP. You have acquired 51% of the group shares. From now on, you call the shots here. Everyone around was stunned by all the kneeling. Jiang Jiqiang was so scared he fell on his butt. Ling Chan looked at Wang Dehai kneeling on the ground and nodded slightly. Get up, since I'm the boss. I'm going to announce my first command. He pointed to Jiang Jiqiang and Chun Lu not far away. These two are ruining my shopping mood. Throw them out. From now on, all malls under SKP are forbidden to let these two in. Not even a step. And the fake watch on that guy's wrist. It's an eyesore. Take it off for him. Wang Dehai immediately got up. Security go. 20 security guards charged in like wolves. No, Ling Chan. You can't do this to me. I'm Lulu. I'm the one you love most. Chan Lu screamed as she was dragged away. Let me go. My dad won't let you get away with this. Jiang Jiqiang kept shouting. The next second he was pinned to the floor. His fake watch was ripped off. It was crushed underfoot. Their screams faded away. Ling Chan stood at the very top of the escalator, looking down at his business empire.
His phone rang.
Unknown number. Hello, is this Mr. Lin Chan? This is Su Wanqing. A cool but slightly tired female voice came from the other end. I heard you just bought SKP. I'm downstairs at SKP in the cafe now. There are some company partnership matters. Would you be willing to spare a moment to meet? Su Wanqing. Ling Chan raised his brow. Turns out she's been here all along. Sure, I happen to be hungry too. But I don't drink coffee. I want hot pot skewers. Would you like to join me, President Su? There was a 3-second pause on the other end. All right, as long as you'll meet me. I'll eat whatever you like. Ling Chan hung up. He smiled brightly. Looks like the upcoming game is about to get even more interesting. The night in Jiangcheng looks like an ink stain that won't clear. It was burned through by the hustle and bustle of Red Star Street in the old city, leaving strange little holes of light and chaos. A Rolls-Royce Phantom, with a Zhang 8888 license plate, like a noble lost in the slums, carefully rolled across the potholes and puddles, stopped in front of Aunt Fat's hot pot skewer shop. The automatic door opened. Su Wanqing stepped out. Ling Chun, sitting on a red plastic stool by the roadside, looked up. He was breaking apart disposable chopsticks. Beside him were dozens of luxury shopping bags from SKP Spree. Shopping bags, dropped on the greasy ground as casually as garbage. What? President Su afraid it's dirty? Ling Chun brushed dust off the plastic stool. Sit down, the beef balls here are the chewiest in all of Jiangcheng. Su Wanqing took a deep breath, elegantly lifting her dress hem. She sat across from Ling Chun. Stiff posture all around. Mr. Lin, you're very funny. Su Wanqing looked at Ling Chun. I thought someone worth billions, who casually bought out SKP, would care more about dining environment. Money is for making life more free, not for locking yourself up. Ling Chun pushed the menu to her. Pick your food, President Su, as promised. You're treating. Don't be shy just because it's cheap. Su Wanqing looked at menu with beef balls for 2 yuan and seaweed for 1 yuan. Her feelings were complicated. He had investigated Ling Chun. The info showed 24 hours earlier, he was still struggling for a few bucks, delivering in the rain. Now he was sitting across from her, with such deep presence. Even an old hand like her couldn't read him. Just order anything? Su Wanqing put down the menu and stared Ling Chun in the eyes. Mr. Lin, let's talk business. About saving Duodwo and your acquisition of SKP. Ling Chun put a finger to his lips. No business talk while eating. It hurts the stomach. Boss lady, 2 big bowls, lightly spicy. Extra vinegar. Okay. Chun, you brought your girlfriend today. She's gorgeous. And Fat warmly carried 2 big stainless bowls. Came over. This girl looks so thin. She needs to eat more. This meal's on me. Su Wanqing's face instantly turned red up to her ears. She waved her hands nonstop. No, it's not me. It's him.
I'm his.
Creditor, Ling Chun replied with a smile, and grabbed a vinegar bottle, pouring a big circle in Su Wanqing's bowl. Taste it. The soul of this place is in the vinegar. With Ling Chun's interruption, that tense negotiation aura from Su Wanqing was half gone in an instant. He hesitated for a moment, but picked up a piece of Napa cabbage to eat. Spicy, hot, and sour. The intense flavor made him cough. Even tears ran out. Slow down, nobody's fighting you for food. Ling Chun handed her a napkin. Su Wanqing took it, a bit embarrassed, and wiped her mouth. In that moment, she shed the usual tough armor, revealing a hint of real everyday life. Ling Chun, Su Wanqing suddenly spoke. Her voice lowered a bit. Thank you. Not just for saving Duodwo, but actually, SKP has always been blocking our company's ads. Renewing, if you hadn't bought SKP, Su Group's new flagship release next month might have to be cancelled. Ling Chun ate beef balls while activating the golden eye. His gaze pierced Su Wanqing's exquisite face. Strings of red data appeared above her head, flickering wildly. Target, Su Wanqing. Identity, President of Su Group. Status, extremely anxious. At the end of her rope. Core Crisis 1, funding chain break. Trapped by competitor Tiansheng Capital. Funding gap, 800 million. 2. Inside trader. Design director Li Hao has been bought out by Tiansheng Capital. Planning to leak core bid price at tomorrow's tender. 3. Signed counter-gamble pact with family elders. If profit isn't turned this quarter, she lose her CEO spot and be forced to marry Tiansheng's young master, Lin Yi. Countdown to collapse, 12 hours. Ling Chun paused his chewing. Tragic, way too tragic. She isn't a president. She's basically meat on the fire. Ling Chun set down his chopsticks, looked at her with a half smile. President Su, with all due respect, what you're worried about now isn't really just the release venue, is it? As far as I know, your company accounts probably can't even pay his KP's venue rent, right? Su Wanqing's chopsticks shook violently. A quail egg dropped back in her bowl, splashing red oil drops onto her fair hand. She couldn't bother wiping it. Her pupils shrank, staring straight at Ling Chun. How do you know? Are you a business spy? Company finances are top secret, except for her and the financial director. Even the deputy director doesn't know. I'm your savior, not a spy. Ling Chun pulled out a napkin, naturally took her hand, wiped the oil off her hand.
His fingers were long and warm.
The moment he touched her cold skin, Su Wanqing jolted like she got shocked, but didn't pull away. And I don't just know you're broke. Ling Chun's eyes suddenly turned sharp. I know you're suffering this much, because there's a traitor close by. Su Wanqing's face went pale, and just then, Su Wanqing's phone started vibrating like crazy. Caller, Design Director Li Hao. Su Wanqing glanced at Ling Chun. Ling Chun made a go-ahead gesture. She answered, hello. Director Li, how's the bid prep for tomorrow? An anxious and guilty voice came from the other end. Su, President Su, something big happened. Our server just got hacked. All original Oasis project design files and data are locked up and destroyed. Backup hard drive is broken too. What? Su Wanqing suddenly stood up. She moved too abruptly. She knocked over the red plastic stool behind her. How is this possible? Our firewall is top tier, and the backup drive is in your safe. How could it be damaged? I don't know either. President Su, the bidding meeting is at 9 a.m. tomorrow. It's absolutely impossible to redo everything now. It seems Tiansheng Capital has already prepared their proposal. You're doomed. Su Wanqing's phone slipped from her hand. It crashed to the floor. She felt as if her backbone was ripped out. She went limp, wanting to sit down. But she forgot the stool was already flipped over. Just as she was about to fall on the greasy floor, Lin Chan caught her with one hand. With the other, he calmly picked up the phone from the floor.
He spoke into the phone, still connected with Director Lee.
Nice acting. The Oscars owe you a golden statue. There was obvious silence on the other end. Is that President Su? Who I am doesn't matter. Lin Chan sneered coldly at the receiver. What matters is, Li Hao, you'd better pray now. That 20 million relocation fee from Tiansheng Capital is enough for you to buy a decent wheelchair. With that, Lin Chan hung up immediately. He tossed the phone back onto the table. Su Wanqing leaned against Lin Chan's chest, trembling all over. Her eyes were empty. It's over. Completely over. That was our last chance to turn things around. The design drafts are gone. Tomorrow will be a breach of contract. I'll have to pay 300 million in compensation. The Su family will eat me alive. At this moment, she was no longer the icy CEO. She was just a woman at the end of her rope. Why panic? Lin Chen's voice was especially clear in the noisy night market. Calm and steady with a reassuring charisma, he helped Su Wanqing stand up straight, placing his hands firmly on her shoulders, forcing her to look into his eyes. If the designs are gone, we can redraw them. If the money's gone, we can earn it back. As long as you're alive, the game isn't over. There isn't enough time to redraw them. Su Wanqing's eyes were red. Tears welled up inside. Less than 10 hours remain. That was 3 months of hard work for dozens of designers. Who says there's no time? Lin Chan let go of her shoulders, turned around and picked up the designer shopping bags from the floor. In his eyes was the excitement of a hunter spotting his prey. Where are you going? Su Wanqing was confused. To your company. Lin Chan curled his lips in a confident smirk. Since Li Hao claims the data is ruined, I'll show him what a real miracle looks like. Besides, tonight, let's play a little ghost hunting game. Half an hour later, Su Group Tower, Jiangcheng CBD. The entire building was brightly lit. The design department was in complete chaos. Dozens of designers stared at black computer screens, frustrated and scratching their heads. Some people were crying. Some were swearing. Director Li Hao stood in the middle, pretending to command the IT staff to fix things. But he kept glancing at his watch out of the corner of his eye, and there was a barely noticeable look of smugness on his lips. As long as they made it through tonight, tomorrow, once Su Wanqing falls, he could take the money and become a VP at Tiansheng Capital. Just at that moment, a commotion came from the doorway. President Su is here. Li Hao instantly put on a dramatic look of grief. He walked up to her. President Su, you finally made it. I'm so sorry. However, he didn't see the broken and desperate Su Wanqing he expected. Instead, Su Wanqing strode in confidently. Her eyes were a little red, but her aura was stronger than usual. Beside her was a young man in Armani, carrying a bag of spicy hot pot takeout containers in hand. President Su, who is this? Li Hao was caught off guard. I'm the food delivery guy. Lin Chan casually placed the bag of hot pot on the conference table, then walked straight towards Li Hao. Li Hao felt a chill under Lin Chan's gaze. President Su, at a time like this, you're letting outsiders stir up trouble here. Standing in front of Li Hao, Lin Chan suddenly grinned. Director Li, your acting is just a bit too much. Lin Chan pointed at the black computer screen. You said the server was hacked, and the data is all gone. Of course, the IT department is working to fix it. Li Hao replied stiffly. Really? Lin Chan walked over to a main computer. His fingers raced across the keyboard. Ding! The host is using god-level hacking skills, permanently infiltrating the local network, tracking the data flow, restoring underlying code. On screen, the garbled black window suddenly started running wild. Lines of green code sped by at dizzying speed. The IT manager nearby was stunned. How fast are his hands? He's coding a reverse tracking program. In less than a minute, Lin Chen hit the enter key. The originally black screen instantly lit up, but it didn't show the design drafts. Instead, it was a playback of surveillance footage and a detailed screenshot of a chat log. The footage showed Li Hao half an hour ago, plugging a USB stick into the server and messaging someone labeled Tiansheng Zhao. He sent a message. It's done. Data deleted. Su Wanqing, that stupid woman, is finished. The room went deathly silent. Every designer glared at Li Hao, like knives aimed right at him. Li Hao's face turned ashen gray. Cold sweat poured down.
His legs trembled.
This is fake. It's a setup. President Su, if you don't believe me, The delivery guy Zhu Wanqing stared at the screen. Her heart felt like it was being pierced, but she was also furious. She took a deep breath and pointed at the security guard by the door. Arrest this traitor for me. Call the police immediately. The security guard, long past his tolerance, rushed over and pinned Li Hao to the ground. Su Wanqing, you dare arrest me? Without my design team, you're still doomed tomorrow. Let's see how you turn this around. Li Hao was still laughing hysterically as he was dragged away. It's true, the mole's caught. And it feels good, but the designs really are gone. The office once again fell into hopeless silence. The IT manager timidly asked, can you recover the designs since you recovered the surveillance? Since you could restore the surveillance footage, can you recover the designs too? Lin Chen shook his head. It was physically destroyed. There's nothing to recover. Everyone's heart sank with despair. But then Lin Chen changed the subject and walked to the head of the conference table. He opened a box of spicy hot pot. Nonchalantly, he said, those crappy design drafts. Let them stay lost. Submitting those was an embarrassment. Totally humiliating. What did you say? The design department's assistant director was furious. That was 3 months of our hard work. Ling Chan ignored the angry crowd. Instead, he looked at Su Wanqing. Do you have a stylus? And paper? Su Wanqing froze for a moment. She instinctively handed over her tablet. And the stylus. What are you doing? Ling Chan took the pen. He spun it skillfully in his hand. At that moment, in his mind, the system store opened again. Deep detected that the host needs a god-level rescue. Exchanging item. Future Top Advertising Creative Guide, 2035 edition. Price, 10 million. Confirm exchange? Exchange, in Ling Chan's eyes. Countless colors. Beyond this era. Lines and compositions instantly flooded in. It was a visual impact from the future. He lowered his head. The tip of the pen touched the screen. Since you think that was hard work, Ling Chan said while drawing, his voice calm. Then tonight I'll teach you all what true art really is. For the next hour, everyone in the Su Group's design department witnessed their worldview crumble and be rebuilt. The man they dismissed as a delivery guy was like a human printer. His hands moved so fast they left afterimages. Exquisite, mind-blowing concept art was born on the screen. The lighting, perspective, and use of color completely overturned existing design concepts, yet were breathtakingly beautiful. This is a perfect blend of cyberpunk and guozhou style. This lighting treatment, my God, this is a masterpiece. The assistant who just doubted Ling Chun was now kneeling beside him, handing him water. When the final key visual was finished, Ling Chun set it down and rubbed his wrist. On the screen was a poster titled Rebirth. In the image, atop the ruins, a mechanical rose bloomed in the downpour. The mood was just like Ling Chen himself. And just like Su Wanqing in her desperate situation, Su Wanqing looked at the drawing, and tears fell silently. Ling Chen, she turned her head to look at the man who was eating cold malatang. At this moment, her psychological defenses completely crumbled. Don't get emotional yet. Ling Chan swallowed a meatball and looked up, a fierce glint in his eyes. Now that it's done, it's time to close the net. At tomorrow morning's bidding meeting, I'm going to make Tiansheng capital spit out what they took, with interest. He stood up, walked to the floor-to-ceiling window, and overlooked the night view of Jiangcheng. President Su, Do you dare to play big with me? Su Wanqing walked to his side and stood shoulder to shoulder with him. There was no more confusion in her eyes, only a steady light. Why wouldn't I dare? Even if we lose. At worst, I'll go deliver food with you. Ling Chun laughed. Deliver food? I'm afraid that won't work. He turned his head, leaned into Su Wanqing's ear, and whispered. After all, only the lady boss sits in my passenger seat. Jiangcheng International Convention and Exhibition Center. The morning sun shone on the massive glass dome, reflecting a cold, rational light. Today is the final bidding day for the Jiangcheng New District Landmark, the Future City Commercial Complex. This is a multi-billion-dollar prize.
Deciding.
Who will dominate Jiangcheng's business for the next decade? In the parking lot, luxury cars were everywhere. A flashy neon green Lamborghini, roaring loudly, parked arrogantly in a VIP spot. It even crossed the line. The scissor doors swung up. A young man in a white suit, with slick back hair, stepped out. Zhao Yushen, the crown prince of Tiansheng capital, and the mastermind, trying to drive the Su group into a corner. Following him was a fawning Li Hao, the former design director of Su group, released on bail last night. Young Master Zhao, don't you worry. Su Wanqing is completely finished. Li Hao had dark circles under his eyes, and his face was still swollen, but his eyes were unusually excited. I deleted the data myself. I even used magnets to degauss the hard drives. Unless a god descends from heaven, she have nothing but blank pages to show for herself today. Zhao Yushen adjusted his tie, a lewd smirk playing on his lips. Good job. Once the Su family goes bankrupt, that proud woman Su Wanqing will be at my mercy. Just then, a black Audi A6 drove in slowly. That was Su Wanqing's car. Compared to the surrounding supercars, this car looked far too modest. Even a bit shabby. Zhao Yushen whistled and led Li Hao to swagger over and block the car door. Oh, if it isn't our beautiful Miss Su? The door opened, and Su Wanqing stepped out. After a night of suffering and rebuilding, she was in surprisingly good spirits, dressed in a sharp navy business suit. Her already slender figure appeared even more elegant. There was no more anxiety in her eyes, replaced by a bottomless depth. From the driver's seat behind her, a young man stepped out. It was Ling Chun, to match Su Wanqing today. He wore a dark gray business casual outfit. No tie. But he exuded an air of casual, effortless nobility. He held a silver metal briefcase, containing that shocking masterpiece. Young Master Zhao. Good dogs don't block the way. Su Wanqing spoke, coldly, without even looking at him. Zhao Yushen choked on his words, his expression darkening instantly. Su Wanqing, still talking tough even when you're doomed. I heard your design department was a mess last night, and even your servers burned down. Why are you here today? Planning to forfeit and beg me to buy your company? He greedily scanned Su Wanqing's body, lowering his voice. If you come to my room tonight, I can increase the purchase price by 10%. Su Wanqing's gaze turned as cold as ice. Before she could speak, a hand suddenly reached out and waved in front of Zhao Yushen like swatting a fly. Hey, you there. Watch your bad breath. You're stinking up the air around my boss. Ling Chan stood in front of Su Wanqing, one hand in his pocket, with a playful look in his eyes. Who the hell are you? Zhao Yushen was furious. He pointed at Ling Chan's nose. This is no place for you to speak. Just a driver, Li Hao added quickly. Young Master Zhao, this is the delivery guy from last night. It's his jinxed mouth that ruined our plans. A delivery guy. Zhao Yushen laughed. He laughed until he was doubling over. Su Wanqing, have you lost your mind? Bringing a delivery guy to a multi-billion-dollar bid? What? Are you planning to bribe the judges with Malatang? Nearby representatives from other companies couldn't help but snicker. Ling Chan didn't get angry. He activated his golden pupils. Target, Zhao Yushen. Status, extremely confident. Condition, second-degree kidney deficiency. Belongings, bidding price document hidden in inner pocket. A bottle of little blue pills. Key info, bribe Professor Zhang, the head judge. Agreed signal, touching the nose. Transfer records stored in encrypted phone. The corner of Ling Chan's mouth curled up. Bribing the judges. Interesting. Zhao Shao, right? Lincoln steps forward, leans close to Zhao Yushen's ear, speaks in a voice only the two of them can hear. Was the sea dog pill we ate last night expired? I see you look pretty pale. You might be looking at a bloody disaster today. And then there's Professor Zhang, the classic old scholar type. His appetite is huge. That little stipend you give him. Be careful, it won't be enough for the Volf. Zhao Yushen's smile freezes instantly. His pupils contract sharply. How does this guy know about the sea dog pills? Even more importantly, how does he know about Professor Zhang? Before he can react, Lin Chan is already grabbing Su Wanqing's arm, dodging aside like they're avoiding a pile of garbage, and heading straight for the elevator. Lin Chan, what did you just say to him? Why does he look so upset? Su Wanqing asks curiously in the elevator. Nothing, just gave him a fortune reading.
Lin Chun smiles mysteriously.
Miss Su, just focus on your PPT in a bit. Let me handle the rest. The atmosphere in the bidding hall is tense. The 5 judges sit solemnly at the main table. The bald elder in the center is the industry authority, Professor Zhang. The audience is packed with local business leaders from Zhangcheng. Media reporters with their cameras fill the back rows. Now please welcome Tiansheng Capital for their pitch presentation. As the host finishes speaking, Zhao Yushen takes Li Hao up to the stage. Although Lin Chan startled him earlier, now that he's on home turf, Zhao Yushen has returned to his arrogant, domineering self. Judges.
Guests.
Zhao Yushen, spirited, points at the big screen. Our proposal from Tiansheng Capital is Urban Oasis. We're creating an aerial garden combining eco-friendly habits and technology all in one. As the PPT is translated, the audience stirs. Su Wanqing's face changes. That's our original proposal. She clenches her shirt tightly, her knuckles whitening. That's right, even though Li Hao deleted Sushi's original file. He brought the copy to Zhao Yushen. The current Urban Oasis, aside from the new name, is practically a pixel-perfect copy of Su Group's earlier design draft. Shameless, Su Wanqing grits her teeth. On stage, Li Hao, the main speaker, is speaking with over-the-top enthusiasm. This double helix aerial corridor is our original patented design. This glass curtain wall with photosynthesis functionality is our exclusive innovation. Original? Lincoln scoffs from the audience, pulls out his phone, taps quickly on the screen. System command. Intrusion into the projection system successful. If you really want to play the plagiarism game, then I'll show you what it means to copy. On stage, Li Hao is reaching the peak of his speech. This is the result of 6 months of work by our team. Absolutely unique. Just then, the big screen flickers suddenly and becomes a giant split-screen comparison. On the left is the currently pitched Urban Oasis. On the right, shockingly, is Su Group's internal meeting footage from 3 months ago. The video has a clear timestamp. The Su Group design team is shown discussing the exact same diagrams. The hall is instantly silent. Then it erupts. Damn, wasn't that Sushi's old proposal? Even the color scheme matches. This is flat out stolen, right? How can such a big company like Tiansheng Capital be pulling this? On stage, Li Hao looks like a duck with its throat cut. His voice stops abruptly. He stares at the big screen in terror. Cold sweat soaks his back instantly. What's going on? Who switched the screen? Turn it off, quick, turn it off. Zhao Yushen rushes furiously to the control desk. Technician, what the hell are you doing? I'll kill you if you don't fix this. The technician at the control desk looks innocent. I didn't touch it. The computer isn't responding. It seems to be infected. Before they can scramble to pull the plug, a line of blood-red text suddenly appears on the big screen. The thief's epitaph. Originality is dead. Not because you're nothing but garbage pickers. Then the screen goes black, and everything returns to normal. Lincoln sits in the audience, puts away his phone, quietly having accomplished his mission. He also unwraps a mint Su Wanqing brought for him. Does this count as a broadcast accident? Su Wanqing stares in shock at the scene. Her expectations are completely shattered. No, this is what you call warming up the crowd. Lincoln chews up the mint.
Take a look at Professor Zhang.
His face is green. Sure enough, Professor Zhang in the judges' seats looks incredibly uncomfortable. Originally, he took the money and planned to give Tiansheng a high score. But now blatant evidence of plagiarism is in front of hundreds of people. If he tries to defend them, his reputation will be ruined tomorrow. Hey. Professor Jiang forces himself to pick up the microphone. There are major controversies with Tiansheng Capital's plan, so it's pending for now. Next up, Su Group. Xiao Yushin walks off stage in disgrace. As he passes Lincoln, his glare is venomous like a snake. Kid, this is your doing, isn't it? You're gonna pay for this. Once we're outside, I'll leave your corpse in the street. Lincoln doesn't even look up. That's your attitude when asking for help? Remember to bring extra tissues, so you don't look too pathetic when you cry. Su Wanqing takes a deep breath. She stands up. At this moment, all eyes are on her. Some show sympathy, some just want drama. Others are skeptical. After all, that crash just now left everyone curious about Su Shi's new proposal. Su Wanqing steps onto the stage. No flash drive, no paper documents. She simply stands quietly at center stage. The spotlight shines on her, like a queen about to be crowned. Ladies and gentlemen, Su Wanqing's voice is cool and firm. What you just saw was the so-called urban oasis. Yes, that was a discarded draft from our Su group. Why was it discarded? Because it was too outdated. The audience stirs. Too outdated. That proposal, even if it was plagiarized, is considered top tier in the industry. To avoid wasting any more time, Su Wanqing turns to Lin Chen at the side. Assistant Lin, let's begin. Lin Chen nods, opens a silver metal case, but instead of files, he takes out a black crystal roughly the size of a fist. This was redeemed from the System Mall. A portable holographic projector, 2035 model, price, 5 million. Lincoln places the crystal in the center of the stage. What's that thing? People are craning their necks in curiosity. The next second buzz. A beam of deep blue light shoots skyward, instantly spreads out, enveloping the entire exhibition hall. The previously bright venue goes dark in a flash. In its place is a suspended, giant and realistic virtual city. No more boring PPTs. It's no longer just a flat rendering. Everyone seemed to travel through time in an instant. They found themselves in a cyberpunk-style city of the future. Right in the middle of it, massive neon signs flashed overhead. Anti-gravity aerial tracks zipped between skyscrapers. Every brick and tile was clearly visible. You could even see the expressions on the faces of virtual pedestrians walking the streets. And at the very center of it all stood a building resembling a blooming mechanical lotus. It slowly rotated. That was Sushi's new revamped proposal. Oh my god, what kind of technology is this? Is this naked eye 3D? No, it's holographic projection. What did I just see? Is this the set of a Hollywood blockbuster? This design is absolutely mind-blowing. Compared to this, the city oasis just now is basically a country outhouse. The entire audience went crazy. The reporters snapped photos like maniacs. The flashes lit up the venue as if it were daytime. Su Wanqing stood inside that giant virtual lotus, like a fairy among flowers. She reached out her hand and gently swiped at the virtual interface. The building instantly broke apart and reassembled, revealing the interior, that breathtaking commercial ecosystem. The flow we don't define the future. Su Wanqing's voice echoed through the surround sound. We create the future. There's no suspense. This is a massacre, a dimensional crushing blow. Professor Zhang, who was just looking for faults, now stood dumbstruck, his dentures nearly falling out. In the face of such a miracle, if he dared say a single word against it, he'd probably be torn apart by the crowd's frenzy. I give a perfect score. This is a work of art, a groundbreaking masterpiece. Another judge stood up excitedly and applauded. Thunderous applause erupted. It lasted and lasted. Xiao Yushin sat below, his face ashen.
He slumped into his chair.
He knew it was over, no matter how much money he had, or how deep his connections went. In the face of such overwhelming strength, it all became a joke. Victory! Su Wanqing looked at the feverish crowd below. Her eyes reddened slightly. She looked toward Lin Chun. That man was leaning in the shadows at the edge of the stage, playing with a crystal worth 5 million. He winked at her and mouthed words. Boss lady rules. The bidding ended. Su Group won the Future City project by an overwhelming margin, with absolute advantage. As soon as the news broke, Su Group's previously slumping stock price shot up in a straight upward line, locked at the upper limit. At the convention center entrance, Su Wanqing was surrounded by countless reporters. President Su, may I ask about that holographic technology? Is it independently developed by your company? President Su, who is the lead designer for that proposal? Could you make an introduction? Su Wanqing struggled to squeeze through the crowd, searching everywhere. She was looking for Lin Chan, but the top contributor was nowhere to be seen. In the alley behind the convention center, Lin Chan was leaning against a wall, smoking. In front of him knelt two men. One was Li Hao, battered and bruised, and the other Xiao Yushen, shaking in fear. Surrounding them stood a dozen men in black suits, wearing sunglasses and built like tanks. The leader was the lone shark who surrendered just last night. Now he's already the head of security under Lin Chan's command. Lin, Grandpa Lin. I was wrong. I didn't realize your greatness. Zhao Yushen showed no trace of arrogance now. He glanced at Tiger's steel pipe, thick as a wrist, and wet himself in terror. Please spare me. I'm the only heir to the Zhao family. Whatever you want, I'll pay. Lin Chan blew out a ring of smoke, squatted down and slapped Zhao Yushen's face with his multi-million-dollar shoes, patting his cheek. You think I need money? Lin Chan laughed softly. He took out a check, wrote a string of numbers, and tossed it at Zhao Yushen's face. That's 10 million. For your earlier comment about delivery boy mental damages. Of course you're paying it to me, not the other way around. Zhao Yushen was stunned. I'll pay. Exactly. I don't lack money, but I hate people owing me. Lin Jiang's gaze turned cold. Fifth brother, teach young Zhao how to write an IOU. Interest rates. Let's use the Macau gambling loss rate. You got it, young Lin. Don't worry, I'm experienced in this business. Fifth brother grinned menacingly and moved toward Lin Chan. Lin Chan stood up and ignored the screams behind him. Just as he walked out of the alley, his phone rang. It was Su Wanqing. Lin Chan, where are you? The celebration party's about to start. You're the main character. If you don't come, I won't start. The woman's voice carried a dependency and coyness she'd never had before. Forget the celebration party. I don't like those occasions. Lin Chan looked at the massive rotating Su Group billboard on the distant CBD skyscraper. President Su, don't forget our agreement. Save me the passenger seat. On the other end of the call, Su Wanqing went silent for 2 seconds. Suddenly she said, Lin Chan, I don't want the passenger seat. I want you to be the driver and drive for a lifetime. Are you willing? It was almost a confession. Lin Chan was stunned for a moment. Then he laughed. This Ice Queen CEO is melting pretty fast. Just as he was about to tease her, the system in his mind suddenly sounded a harsh red alarm. Alert! Warning! Host detected overuse of future technology, drawing attention from the Covert World Organization. SG crisis incoming. The global top assassin organization, Black Mamba, has accepted the contract. Target, Lin Chan, bounty, $100 million. Employer, Zhao Jie, father of Zhao Yushen. Countdown, 30 minutes until. First wave of assassins arrives on the scene. The smile froze at the corner of Lin Chan's mouth. Warmth faded from his eyes, replaced by overwhelming murderous intent. Old man Zhao's making a move. The young one came first. Now the old one. He said to Su Wanqing on the phone. Wanqing, celebration party's cancelled. Go home immediately. Lock all doors and windows. Move all of Tiger's men around your villa. No matter what noise you hear, don't go out. What's wrong, Lin Chan? Don't scare me. Su Wanqing's voice became anxious instantly. It's nothing. Lin Chan looked up into the distance, at the black helicopter circling in the sky. Just need to clean up some filth. This time, I want the whole underground world of Jiangcheng to know who the real king is. Jiangcheng CBD was still bustling and lively. Neon lights painted the night sky in sultry purple red. But behind the convention center, in the old industrial zone waiting for demolition, the air seemed to have solidified like lead. That black helicopter didn't approach directly, but hovered like a vulture, circling twice before, holding position. At the top of an abandoned building a kilometer away, Lin Chan stood at the empty crossroads. The cigarette between his fingers was burned to the end. Come out, Lin Chan. He flicked the cigarette away. As an international top assassin organization, do you still have to hide in the gutter like rats? The surroundings were deathly silent. Suddenly, swoosh, a barely audible whistling sound, like death's sigh. If it had been an ordinary person, they would have been killed by that special armor-piercing bullet by now, blown his skull wide open. But Lin Chan is no ordinary man. In the vision of his golden pupils, the bullet approaching at 3 times the speed of sound was now trailing a long thermal imaging exhaust flame, moving as slow as a snail. Lin Chan didn't even move his feet. He simply tilted his head slightly, a movement so small it was almost negligible. The bullet grazed the tips of his hair as it flew past, slamming hard into the concrete pillar behind him, blasting a crater the size of a bowl. Is this all you've got? Lin Chan looked up, his gaze crossing a distance of 500 meters, and precisely locking onto the sniper hiding behind the billboard. Black Mamba is nothing special after all. On the top floor of the abandoned building 500 meters away, the sniper codenamed Fang looked through his night vision scope, watching the man who still stood in place, even raising a middle finger in this direction. Cold sweat instantly soaked through his combat uniform. Report to Captain. Target no, one dodged it. Repeat, he dodged it. That was an M200 sniper rifle, from 500 meters away. How is this possible? The voice of Captain Viper came through the headset, cold and filled with disbelief. Shut up, Team B. Team C, move out. Kill him in close quarters. Don't give him a chance to breathe. Copy that, as the order was given. From the darkness surrounding the old industrial zone, 12 black spectral shadows instantly surged forth. They were wearing full sets of tactical exoskeleton armor, armed with suppressed tactical submachine guns and high-frequency vibration daggers. Their movements were synchronized, like a pack of silent wolves, closing in on Lin Chan from all directions. Lin Chan stood in the center of the encirclement, with no fear on his face whatsoever. Instead, a hint of bloodthirsty excitement appeared. System, I want to buy something. Ding. Detected host in an S-class combat environment. Smart store recommendations are now active. Absolute defense shield. One-time use price, 50 million. Withstands all attacks except nuclear bombs. Duration, 10 minutes. Terminator T-800 body. Trial card for 1 hour price, 100 million. Level 8 Grandmaster, permanent, price, 200 million.
Telekinesis, basic, price, 500 million.
Lin Chan looked at the price. A cruel curve forming at the corners of his mouth. I choose Bajiquan. Ding. 200 million funds deducted. Imprinting Bajiquan Grandmaster muscle memory. Imprint complete. Boom! A terrifying wave of heat instantly surged through Lin Chan's body. His bones crackled like popping corn. His lean muscles instantly tightened. And within every inch of muscle fiber, a power capable of shattering mountains seemed to be compressed. By now, the first 2 assassins had arrived. 2 cold, gleaming high-frequency vibration daggers, stabbed from left and right towards Lin Chan's throat and heart. Too slow. A cold voice rang in their ears. Somehow, Lin Chan had already slipped inside their reach. Bajiquan, Iron Mountain Lean. Lin Chan didn't even throw a punch.
He simply lowered his shoulder slightly
And slammed violently into the assassin on the left. Bang! A sickening crack followed the dull impact. The assassin, wearing Kevlar body armor and reinforced with exoskeleton plating, was like someone hit head-on by a high-speed train. The man flew backward like a cannonball, smashing straight through a red brick wall by the roadside. The remaining 10 assassins skidded to a halt, their eyes filled with horror. Fire! Fire! Don't let him get close! Captain Viper roared frantically into the headset. Rat-tat-tat-tat-tat. Countless muzzles flared instantly, a dense hail of bullets pouring toward Lin Chan like a rainstorm. But Lin Chan moved. His movement techniques, enhanced by Bajiquan, made him like a ghostly bolt of lightning, weaving through the storm of bullets. His golden pupils were pushed to the limit, the trajectory of every single bullet appearing as clearly visible lines in his eyes. For the bullets he couldn't dodge.
He simply reached out his hand.
As Lin Chan's fingers moved like lightning, he actually caught a bullet midair. Monster. He's a monster. Lin Chan tossed the bullet aside. His figure lunged forward. Now it's my turn. The next 3 minutes were a one-sided slaughter. Lin Chan's shadow was like the Grim Reaper's scythe. Wherever he passed, someone fell. He pushed the ferocity of Bajikwan to its peak. Heart-piercing elbow, Yama's 3 points, heavenly cannon. Every move was simple and direct, yet contained devastating power. The exoskeleton armor was as fragile as paper. Before him, one assassin tried to use a rocket launcher. But before he could pull the trigger, Lin Chan broke his arm with a single kick. The launcher fell to the ground, and with a loud bang, it blew the assassin himself into the sky. After the last assassin was kicked away by Lin Chan, the entire block fell back into a deathly silence. Lin Chan stood in the center of the carnage. His Armani suit didn't even have a single drop of blood on it. Only in his deep eyes did the golden flames linger. He looked up, staring at the top of the abandoned building. There was still one last big fish up there. On the top floor, Viper's hands were shaking. He had been a mercenary for 20 years. He had killed warlords in the Philippines and blown up oil fields in the Middle East. He had seen every kind of tough guy, but someone like Lin Chan, who wiped out a fully armed elite squad, single-handedly in 3 minutes, was unheard of. Retreat! Retreat immediately! The intel was wrong. This isn't an S-class mission. This is a triple S death trap. Viper roared into his headset while quickly disassembling his sniper rifle, preparing to escape via zipline. The moment he turned around, a cold voice spoke from behind him. Since you're already here, why not stay for a cup of tea? The hair all over Viper's body stood on end. He suddenly pulled the Desert Eagle from his thigh holster and fired a shot behind him. Bang! The gun went off, but Lin Chan had vanished. A second later, Viper felt a chill at his wrist, followed by agonizing pain. His right hand, still clutching the Desert Eagle, dropped cleanly to the ground. The cut was as smooth as a mirror, and in front of him, Lin Chan was toying with a thin, bloody, rusted piece of metal. It was a fragment of a soda can he had picked up off the ground, plucking leaves or flying flowers. Anything can be a weapon. Viper clutched his severed wrist, falling to his knees with a scream, his eyes filled with despair and terror. Don't kill me. I'm the head of Black Mamba's Asia division. If you kill me, Black Mamba will hunt you to the ends of the earth. Lin Chan looked down at him, like looking at an ant. Threatening me? Lin Chan crouched down, patted Viper's sweat-drenched face with that piece of metal. Do you know what I hate the most? It's when people use the countless things I own to threaten me. For example, Lin Chan suddenly took out his phone. He opened up an interface. It was the dark web system he had just unlocked. Sky Eye access rights. The Black Mamba Assassins Organization. Headquarters located on a small island in international waters in the Pacific. Total assets around $30 billion US. The current leader's codename is Venom King. His real identity is the illegitimate son of a fallen European aristocrat. Lin Chan read out the information on his phone. With each sentence he read, Viper's face turned even paler. How do you know all this? This is top secret. Lin Chan ignored him. His fingers flew across the screen. Operating system. Redeem global top hacker God Hand upgrade. Hack into the Black Mamba headquarters accounts. Freeze all funds. Also, issue a new bounty to all assassins. 3 seconds later, Viper's special communicator suddenly started vibrating like crazy. And it wasn't just him. At this very moment, spread out all over the world, more than 3,000 Black Mamba assassins received a top-level red alert at the same time. Top bounty target, the entire Zhao family. Priority targets, Zhao Yushin and his father Zhao Gang. Employer codename Gang God. Reward, $1 billion US. Additional clause, whoever brings Zhao Gang's head will become the next leader of Black Mamba. Current leader, Venom King, has been acquired by the godly Tycoon Gang for $5 billion. The organization is now renamed Divine Judgment. Viper murmured to himself, feeling like his entire worldview collapsed. He never would have dreamed someone could just buy out an assassin organization. Why don't you believe me? Lin Chan stood up, clapped his hands. If you don't believe it, you can check your bank account. As a welcome gift, I just sent every living assassin $1 million US. Wait, correction. Ding, Viper's phone rang. Deposit alert, $1 million. In that moment, Viper's look at Lin Chun changed. No longer fear, but an almost fanatical worship. Old boss Viper ignored the excruciating pain of his broken hand and kowtowed hard, hitting the floor with a loud bang-bang sound. I was blind to your greatness. I'm willing to do anything for you, boss. That old bastard Zhao Gang? I'll go kill him right now. Lin Chun looked at him coldly. Your hand is broken. You're a cripple now. I don't keep useless people. Viper's face turned ashen. But then Lin Chun changed his tone. I have a pill. If you take it, your hand will regrow, and your strength will be tripled. A black pill appeared in Lin Chun's hand. Beginner regeneration elixir. Marketplace price, $50 million. But this pill is poisonous. You need to take the antidote every 3 months. If you betray me, I'll take it. Viper grabbed the pill without hesitation and swallowed it. A miraculous scene unfolded. The flesh at Viper's broken wrist began wriggling and started to stop bleeding, scab, and regenerate at a speed visible to the naked eye. A miracle, this is a real miracle. Viper broke down crying. Lin Chun turned around and walked toward the edge of the building. Clean up these corpses. I don't want to see any news about gunfights on TV tomorrow. And let everyone know. I'm going to slowly play with the Zhao family. Don't kill them all at once. First cut off their cash flow. Then take out all their connections. And finally, I want to make them kneel in front of Su Group's gates begging to die. Can't do as you command. After tonight, the Zhao family will be wiped out from the underworld for good. Lin Chun leapt, jumping straight off the 30th floor.
In midair.
He activated the just-redeemed anti-gravity glider. Like a giant black bat, he glided away and disappeared into the night. Half an hour later, Su Wanqing's private villa was brightly lit. In the living room, Su Wanqing curled up on the sofa, hugging a pillow. The TV was on, but she wasn't paying any attention. Next to her, Duodua had already fallen asleep, with tear streaks still on her face. Lin Chun, you'd better be okay. Su Wanqing put her hands together, praying silently. Just then, the sound of the fingerprint lock unlocking came from the front door. Beep, welcome home. Su Wanqing jumped up, didn't even bother putting on shoes, rushed barefoot to the door. The door opened. Lin Chun was standing there, carrying a box of steaming crawfish in his hand. Sorry I'm late. Passed by the night market. Saw this crawfish place, and thought it looked good. So I picked up some. Lin Chun shook the bag in his hand. It's 13 spice flavor. Lin Chun Su Wanqing couldn't hold her emotions back anymore, throwing herself into Lin Chun's arms, hugging him tightly around the waist, her tears instantly soaking his shirt. Where did you go? Do you know how worried I was? I even heard the sound of helicopters. I thought... Lin Chun paused for a second, then gently stroked her hair. Silly girl, didn't I tell you? There are some dirty things that need cleaning up. He looked up at the night sky outside the window. The dark clouds were gone, revealing a bright, clear moon. From now on, in this city, I make the rules for the night. No one will ever hurt you again. Su Wanqing looked up, tears in her eyes as she stared at him. Lin Chun, who are you really? Lin Chun leaned down and kissed the tears from her eyes. I'm your godly tycoon, and also your knight. At the same time, on the other side of Jiangcheng, at the Zhao family mansion, Zhao Yushen's father, Zhao Gang, a director at Zhao Group, was sitting in the study, waiting anxiously for good news. Why hasn't there been any reply? What is that loser Thor doing? Zhao Gang stubbed out his cigar forcefully in the ashtray. Suddenly, the study door was thrown open. The butler stumbled in, his face full of terror. Sir, something's wrong. Something terrible happened. What are you panicking for? Did the sky fall? Zhao Gan yelled angrily. The sky really did fall. The butler trembled as he handed over a tablet. The dark web is full of bounties on our family. Our stocks just now plummeted 90% pre-market in the US. Plus, over a dozen major shareholders. All just called to say they were pulling out. What? Zhao Gan grabbed the tablet, glanced at it, and instantly felt the world spinning, coughing up blood in shock. On the front page of the dark web was a huge close-up of his own face. with a bloody message written beneath it. Global manhunt for the Zhao family. Bounty, $1 billion US. Who did it? Zhao Gang roared, like a dying beast. At that moment, the phone in the study rang. It was an unfamiliar number. With trembling hands, Zhao Gang answered the call. A distorted voice came from the other end, yet it still carried an endless chill. Good evening, Chairman Zhao. I heard you're looking for Black Mamba to kill me. Unfortunately, Black Mamba now goes by Lin. Enjoy your last night. When the sun rises tomorrow, it will be the end of the Zhao family. Beep beep. The call ended. The phone slipped from Zhao Gang's hand. He collapsed weakly in his chair. His eyes were empty. The lights outside, once a symbol of the Zhao family's glory, at this moment, seemed like guiding lights to hell. Mornings in Jiangcheng are usually busy and orderly. But today, throughout the entire city, a suffocating madness hung in the air. It all stemmed from that mysterious group called Divine Punishment, and the bounty they posted on the dark web last night. $1 billion US. Enough to buy half of a small African country. A fortune even nations would envy. It sent the global underworld into a frenzy. Zhao Group headquarters building. This building, once a symbol of the top elite in Jiangcheng, a glass skyscraper, was now completely surrounded. But it wasn't reporters crowding the entrance, nor workers demanding their pay, but groups of men with fierce eyes, waists bulging with who knows what. Executive office on the top floor. Zhao Gang looked like he'd aged 10 years overnight. He slumped on that million-yuan Huang Wali wood chair, hair disheveled, eyes bloodshot, gripping a satellite phone tightly in his hand. Chairman, this is Zhao. I don't ask for much. Just send the SWAT team to protect me. That signal? Hello, hello. Beep beep. Furious, Zhao Gang hurled the satellite phone at the window.
Bam!
The bulletproof glass cracked, leaving a white mark, reflecting the dense crowd below, swarming like ants. Just then, the heavy mahogany office door was kicked open from the outside. But it wasn't a killer who walked in. It was his secretary. But at this moment, the female secretary who always obeyed him stood coldly holding a box. Mr. Zhao, here is your resignation letter. I've already printed it for you. Please sign it. She threw a sheet of paper at Zhao Gang's face. And also, everyone in the finance department has quit. Before leaving, everyone divided the only 3 million yuan left in the company account as severance pay. You dare rebel. Zhao Gang was trembling with rage. I'm the chairman. I'm not dead yet. The secretary sneered coldly. She pushed her glasses up. Mr. Zhao, don't be naive. Zhao Group's stock is now as worthless as scrap paper. The bank has frozen all assets. We even owe 3 months' worth of utilities for this building. Right now, you're just a negative asset. Who'd still call you chairman? With that, the secretary walked away without looking back. Before leaving, she casually took the pure gold pen holder from the desk. Bitch, come back and put down my gold pen. Zhao Gang roared, trying to chase after her. But 2 burly bodyguards blocked the door. They were hired by Zhao Gang at a steep price. Save your energy, Chairman Zhao. One of the bodyguards was chewing gum, with a playful look in his eyes. The reason my brother and I haven't left yet is because someone else offered more money to make sure we watch you. Who told you to kill yourselves? Who? The bodyguard said nothing. He just stepped aside, respectfully making way. At the end of the hallway, steady footsteps echoed slowly. Leather shoes clicked crisply on the marble floor, making a clean, crisp tap. Every step seemed to stomp on the hearts of the Zhao father and son. A young man in a deep blue tailored suit walked in, arm in arm with a stunningly elegant beauty. They strolled in leisurely as if taking a casual walk. Behind him was a large group of well-dressed professionals, all carrying briefcases. It looked like a top-notch M and a team. Good morning, Chairman Zhao. Lin Chun strode into the office. He glanced around the incredibly luxurious space. His eyes finally settled on Zhao Gang's pale face. TSK, so this is the office of the richest man in Jiangcheng. Gotta say, the taste is pretty tacky. This golden cicada figurine is just gold-plated, right? Lin Chun picked up the golden cicada from the desk. He tossed it disdainfully, then threw it with a loud smack into the trash can. Lin Chun, Zhao Gang stared intensely at the man before him, his eyes practically dripping with hatred. It was you! You put out the bounty! You monster. What exactly do you want? You can kill, but don't humiliate. What you're doing is illegal. Lin Chen pulled out a chair and had Su Wanqing sit down. He himself leaned lazily against the desk, looking down at Zhao Gang from above. When you sent assassins to kill me last night, did you think about what was legal? So only officials get to break the law, but regular folks can't fight back? Lin Chen snapped his fingers. A lawyer behind him stepped forward, opened the briefcase, and took out a thick stack of documents, spreading them out in front of Zhao Gang. Chairman Zhao, let me introduce myself. I'm Mr. Lin's chief legal representative. This is the Zhao Group's comprehensive asset transfer agreement. The lawyer pushed his glasses up and spoke as if reading a death sentence. According to our calculations, Zhao Group is currently 23 billion in debt. Due to unforeseen circumstances, the asset valuation is now negative 5 billion. Basically, this company should be in bankruptcy liquidation. But my boss, Mr. Lin Chen, is generous and is willing to acquire it. The word acquire was like a lifeline for Zhao Gang. How much are you offering? As long as you rescind the bounty, I'll give you the company. The whole thing is yours. Lin Chen just smiled.
He raised a single finger.
10 billion. Zhao Gang's eyes lit up. Lin Chen shook his head. 1 billion. Zhao Gang gritted his teeth. Lin Chen still shook his head. 100 million. Zhao Gang's hopes crashed to rock bottom. Lin Chen put away his smile and fished out a coin from his pocket. It was a rusted, out of circulation, 1-cent coin. The coin clattered. It spun on the desk, making a harsh, grating noise. Finally, it fell in front of Zhao Gang. 1 cent. Lin Chen spoke indifferently. To buy all the Zhao family's wealth amassed over 3 generations, including this building, all your listed properties, cars, and stocks. Even the suit you're wearing now. You're taking this too far. Zhao Gang was so furious he spat blood. He nearly collapsed. I'd rather burn it all or give it to beggars than let you have it. Lin Chen's gaze turned cold. You can give it a try, but let me warn you. There are over 3,000 bounty hunters downstairs, waiting impatiently. If I cancel the alive-only order, what do you think they'll do when they rush in? Zhao Gang instantly froze. This is an impossible dilemma, isn't it? Sign it, just sign it. I want to live. I don't want to die. Zhao Yushin broke down completely. He crawled over and hugged Zhao Gang's leg, crying his eyes out, snot and tears everywhere. Seeing his son like this, such a wimp, the light in Zhao Gang's eyes went out for good. Lin Chen, you are ruthless. Zhao Gang, his hand trembling, picked up the pen. And at the moment of signing, he felt his soul leave his body. A life's work, an empire, was sold for 1 cent to this man, who he once saw as a lowly food delivery boy. Is this justice? Lin Chen picked up the signed contract, didn't even glance at it, and handed it straight to Su Wanqing behind him. Wanqing, do you like your gift? Su Wanqing held the heavy contract.
This
Was the very behemoth that nearly destroyed the Su family.
now,
It became hers just like that, as if it was nothing. Lin Chen, this is too much. Su Wanqing couldn't believe it was real. Hey, we're family, don't be so formal. Besides, I don't want to manage these crappy companies. From now on, you're Zhao Group. It's now called Lin's Tycoon Holdings. And you're the chairman of Branch 1. Lin Chen stood up and patted Zhao Gang on the shoulder, as if comforting a stray dog. Enough crying, get a grip. Looking sullen to celebrate the acquisition's success. I've decided to take both of you to experience life a little. Experience what? Zhao Gang had a bad feeling. Let's go. Lin Chen snapped his fingers. System. Activating the Tycoon's humiliation shopping mode. Detecting. The host is performing a high-peak storyline quest. Take the former richest family shopping. The requirement right in front of the Zhao father and son. Buy everything they once wanted but never dared to buy. And force them to work as porters. 1 hour later, Jiangcheng's largest luxury car dealership. Here, the world's most prestigious cars are on display. This used to be Zhao Yushin's favorite place to show off. But every time he came here, he'd just look at those entry-level models worth a few million. As for the one in the middle of the showroom, the Bugatti worth over 10 or 20 million, named Black Knight Voice.
he didn't even dare touch it.
But today he showed up, just as a mover. Zhao Yushen was wearing a torn shirt. Sweating profusely, he followed Ling Chun closely. Zhao Gang, on the other hand, looked just like an old servant. He kept his head down submissively. Young Master Zhao, does this car look familiar to you? Ling Chun pointed at the Bugatti. He looked at Zhao Yushen with a smirk. I heard you begged your dad for half a year last time for this car, but he never got it for you. Zhao Yushen gulped. His eyes were full of longing and jealousy. Why, yes. Do you like it? I do. If you like it, take another good look. Ling Chun walked over to the car. He patted the hood. Because from now on, you'll only be driving it in your dreams. After speaking, Ling Chun turned to the sales manager. Swipe the card. Full payment. No need to test drive. Just hand over the keys. Yes, of course, Mr. Lin. The manager was so excited, his hands were trembling. Ling Chun took the car keys. Then, under Zhao Yushen's desperate gaze, he casually tossed the keys to Tiger, who was behind him. Tiger, this car is yours now. You can use it to pick up groceries from now on. Don't drive that broken Jinbai van anymore. It's just shameful. Everyone was stunned. A 120 million Bugatti, given away to his bodyguard as a grocery car. Tiger held the keys. Tears streamed down his face. He knelt before Ling Chun right then and there. Boss, you're truly my second father. My life belongs to you from now on. At this moment, Zhao Yushen felt worse than eating. Shit. His dream supercar was actually casually gifted to a thug by Lin Zhen. Don't worry, we're not done yet. Lin Chun kept walking forward. I'll take that Rolls-Royce mansion. It's for President Sue for her commute. And that Ferrari. La Ferrari bought. The color is too flashy. Painted black when we get back. And those few Aston Martins. Bundle them up for our company's cleaning ladies. One each for them. Makes commuting easier. In just half an hour. Ling Chun swept the entire dealership. Total spending, 800 million. Zhao Gang and Zhao Yushen followed behind, their arms loaded with luxury car gifts, covers, and perfumes. They were exhausted, like two dying dogs. Each time Ling Chun swiped his card, their hearts clenched. Ling Chun, please stop buying. We admit we were wrong. Just make it quick. Zhao Gang finally broke down. He collapsed and wailed on the floor. Ling Chun stopped walking. He looked back at the father and son. Quick? Did you give me anything quick when you kicked me out of the Lin family? And left me delivering food in the pouring rain? Did you? Ling Chun's eyes instantly turned icy cold. I said I'd make you beg for death, but unable to die. Tiger, take these two wastes to the police station. Tell the chief. Get them a luxury single cell. Find a few enthusiastic cellmates. Make sure to take good care of them. I heard young Master Zhao has tender skin. He should be popular. Understood, young Master Lin, don't worry. I know all the rules inside. Fifth brother grinned viciously, dragging the Zhao father and son out like dead dogs. Ling Chun, you can't do this. I'm your brother. Big brother, I was wrong. Zhao Yushen's desperate scream echoed through the showroom, then gradually faded away. After dealing with the Zhao family, Ling Chun let out a long breath. Aren't you happy? Su Wanqing walked to his side and gently held his arm. No, I just feel a bit bored. Ling Chun glanced at the bustling street outside the showroom. The Zhao family fell too fast. There wasn't any challenge. Su Wanqing smiled. If anyone else heard you say that, they'd probably want to beat you to death. They'd probably want to beat you. Zhao family ruled Zhongcheng. Now things have changed. Ling Chun held her hand. Come on, I'll take you somewhere. Where? To see your new office. The top floor of Zhao Group building. The view there's nice. Perfect for dating. Just as the two were about to leave, Ling Chun's phone suddenly rang. It was an encrypted number with no location. Ling Chun frowned slightly. He answered. Who is this? A deep, aged yet powerful voice came from the other end. It carried the authority of someone long in power. Young man, I must say, you've made quite a stir here in Jiangcheng these past days. Ling Chun narrowed his eyes. Who are you? Who I am doesn't matter. The old man replied calmly. What matters is that you targeted the Zhao family. Although that fool Zhao Gang deserved what he got, he was still my dog. You have to mind the owners when you beat a dog. So I dealt with the lackeys. And now the master arrives. What? Wanna put a bounty on me too? Ling Chan showed no fear. Actually seemed a bit excited. Finally, a real opponent. Hey, bounties are childish games. I won't play that, the old man scoffed. Young man, you have some money and some skills. But against true power, money's just numbers. Force is just brute strength. I am the steward of the family in the capital. My young master is interested in your super wealthy system. Oh, not exactly. That ability of yours to create funds out of thin air. He's very curious. Ling Chan's pupils instantly contracted. He knew the system, he should heed its warning. The old man's voice continued. In 3 days, the family will send people to Jiangcheng to take over Zhao's aftermath. At that time, I hope you'll be wise and hand over what you have. Otherwise, you'll learn what true despair means. The call ended. Ling Chan stood there holding his phone, silent for a long time. Capital's the family, the true top family of Xia country. Legend has it, they control the lifeblood of the country's economy. Compared to the family, Zhao family really isn't even a dog. And it seems they've noticed the system's existence. Ling Chan, what's wrong? Who was that? Su Wanqing sensed something off with Ling Chan. She asked with concern. Ling Chan snapped back. The heaviness in his eyes vanished instantly, replaced by even more intense battle spirit. Nothing, just some self-important old man. Ling Chan put the phone back in his pocket, looked northward. That's the direction of the capital. Wanqing, looks like our leisure time is over. The next game might get a bit thrilling. System Ling Chan silently recited in his mind. Ding. Host faces a world-class crisis. Warning, system upgrade mission. Advanced wealth god task triggered. Goal. Before the family arrives. Raise power, wealth, force, and connections to dominator level. Current reward. Ability to foresee the future. 1 set of technology and military factory books and blueprints. Special recruitment order. Can recruit 100 absolutely loyal gene warriors. Unlimited money flow mode. 24-hour limit. All spending, no matter the amount, not only costs nothing, but gets double cashback. Hearing the third reward, Lin Chan laughed.
He laughed recklessly. His laughter was wild.
Unlimited mode, double cashback. The family, huh? Wanna play power? An economic blockade? Then I'll use money to blast a hole in your capital city. Lin Chan pulled Su Wanqing's hand and strode toward the Bugatti they just bought. Spend money. Tonight I want to flip Jiangcheng's GDP upside down. Jiangcheng Caesar Palace Hotel. This is the venue for tonight's epic charity gala. Though it's supposed to be charity. In reality, it's a show of force for Western capital and domestic comprador powers. Flexing muscle. The main organizer is the Rothschild family. And the co-host clearly states, the family from the capital. At the hotel entrance, luxury cars lined up. This event's scale far exceeds any before it. The attendees are no longer just local bosses from Jiangcheng, but titans from Wall Street, European nobility, and the top-tier heirs of domestic elite families. When at dawn, that black honky L9, a state-authorized vehicle, stopped at the end of the red carpet. Countless flashes went off. Lin Chan, holding the arm of the elegantly dressed Su Wanqing, stepped out of the car. Su Wanqing was wearing a dress tonight designed by Lin Chan himself, the starlight streamer gown. The futuristic material obtained from the system flowed as she walked, as if a galaxy were moving within her hem. Instantly, she outshone every Hollywood star and socialite at the scene. So this is that Lin Chan? I heard he built a 6th-generation engine. Is that for real? He offended the Rothschilds and the family. Tonight is likely a trap set for him. Whispers continued to ripple through the crowd.
Lin Chan ignored them completely,
leading Su Wanqing straight into the banquet hall. The hall was magnificent and resplendent, but in the very center of the room stood a massive display stand, covered with a red cloth. It was surrounded by foreign bodyguards armed with live ammunition. That is tonight's grand finale item. A cold voice came from the side. A middle-aged man wearing a tang suit, clutching 2 iron exercise balls in his hand, walked over. Behind him followed the Tianling, wearing a look of pure malice, and William, who had just been driven away in a rage by Lin Zhan. This middle-aged man was the number 2 figure of the family, the Tianling's uncle, known as the Smiling Tiger, the Zhenshen. Mr. Lin, I have heard much about you. The Zhenshin cupped his hands with a hollow smile. I am the Zhenshin. I heard that my incompetent nephew received quite a lot of care from you in Jiangcheng. I wouldn't call it care, Lin Chun said indifferently. I just helped him fix his car and taught him a few lessons on how to be a decent human being. The Tianling was so furious he wanted to charge forward, but was stopped by the Zhenshin. It is good for a young man to be sharp-tongued, but some things cannot be kept simply by talking. The Zhenshin pointed toward the display stand. Tonight's auction was specially prepared for you by Mr. William. I hope your wallet is as tough as your attitude. After speaking, the three let out a meaningful laugh and turned toward the VIP seats. What are they trying to do? Su Wanqing had an ominous feeling. No matter what they are trying to do. Lin Jun's eyes turned slightly cold. They won't be taking a single cent away tonight. The banquet began. After a series of long-winded speeches, the highlight of the evening, the auction, finally arrived. The first few items were jewelry and paintings. Though they were valuable, Lin Chun didn't make a single bid. He was waiting for the so-called grand finale. Finally, William walked onto the auction stage.
Ladies
and gentlemen. William's face was filled with the joy of revenge. His gaze locked tightly onto Lin Chun in the audience. Tonight's final item is a Chinese national treasure that has been lost overseas for a century. He suddenly whipped off the red cloth, and the entire audience gasped. Inside the display case was a bronze dragon head, covered in soil yet still exuding a majestic aura. It was the most mysterious of the 12 zodiac animal heads from the old summer palace. The dragon head that had been missing until now. This dragon head is a trophy obtained by our family. During that war 100 years ago, William placed heavy emphasis on the word trophy for every Chinese person present. This was a blatant humiliation. The starting bid is $1 billion, with minimum increments of 100 million. William looked at Lin Chun provocatively. Mr. Lin, I heard you are a patriotic businessman. Now is the time to prove your patriotism. If you don't buy it, this dragon head will be sent to the British Museum tomorrow for permanent display. Labeled as a witness to the conquest of the East. Boom! The Chinese businessmen in the audience erupted. Shameless. This is robbery. This is too arrogant. This is a slap in our faces. But $1 billion. That is just too expensive. Everyone's eyes were fixed on Lin Chun. This was a checkmate. If he buys it, he's being slaughtered like a pig, pumping blood into Western capital. If he doesn't, he sits by while a national treasure is insulted, and his reputation is ruined. The Zhenshin sneered from the side. Lin Chun, why aren't you bidding? Where is your unlimited funding? Where is your patriotism? Don't tell me you're a coward. Lin Chun slowly stood up. He straightened his suit button and looked calmly at William on the stage. $1 billion? Lin Chun raised his bidding paddle. I bid 10 billion. The room went dead silent. $10 billion. Even William was stunned. He had only intended to scam Lin Chun out of a few billion.
He didn't expect this guy to increase it tenfold.
Lin Chun, are you crazy? Su Wanqing grabbed his sleeve. That's a trap set by these robbers. If you give them this money, they will be completely revitalized. Don't worry. Lin Chun patted her hand. Whether they get the money or not isn't up to them. William on stage snapped back to his senses. Overjoyed. With this $10 billion, not only could the family's crisis be resolved, but they would also make a massive profit. 10 billion once. 10 billion twice. Sold. William dropped the hammer impatiently. Mr. Lin, please transfer the funds immediately. We only accept instant transfers via the SWIFT system. He had arranged everything long ago. As soon as Lin Chun's funds entered the SWIFT system, he would use his authority to swallow the money first, then freeze the transaction in the name of anti-money laundering. In the end, they would keep the treasure and the money. This was the ultimate level of roguery. Lin Chun took out that black card and handed it to the staff member who walked over. The transfer interface appeared on the large screen, just as everyone held their breath, waiting for that astronomical sum to be transferred. The screen suddenly flickered and turned a blood red. Warning, transaction failed. Error code 404. Your bank has been acquired. What? William was dumbfounded. What do you mean the bank has been acquired? This is Atlantic United Bank. It's our family's own bank. Lin Chan stood below the stage, hands in his pockets, revealing a brilliant smile. I'm sorry, Mr. William, just 1 minute before the auction began. I used this 10 billion US dollars on the secondary market of the US stock exchange to complete a hostile tender offer for Atlantic United Bank. In other words, Lin Chan pointed at the pause machine. I am now using my own money, moving it from my left hand to my right hand in my own bank. As for you, the former shareholder of this bank, because of suspected major financial fraud and misappropriation of depositor funds, Lin Chan snapped his fingers. The doors of the banquet hall were burst open, and a group of men in Interpol uniforms rushed in. The leading officer held up a red notice. William Rothschild, you're under arrest for suspected stock market manipulation, money laundering, and business fraud. What? That's impossible. William looked at the approaching police officers and had a complete breakdown. I'm a Rothschild. I have diplomatic immunity. Mr. The, help me. William looked at Mr. The Zhongtian, but the Zhongtian's face had already turned deadly pale.
He sat frozen in his chair, unwilling to move.
Because he could feel several red laser dots locked tightly on his brow. Those were snipers from the Shadow Legion. Take him away. Lin Chan waved his hand. William was dragged out like a dead dog. The bronze dragon head was left on the stage. Lin Chan walked up onto the stage and lifted the heavy bronze dragon head with one hand. Spoils of war.
Lin Chan
Looked at the stunned foreign capitalists below the stage, his voice thundering like a blast. Remember, from today onward, the tides have turned. Everything that belongs to us, I'll take it back one by one, whether by buying or by force. From the audience, an earthquake of applause and cheers erupted. Countless Chinese businessmen were moved to tears. In this moment, a century of pent-up humiliation was finally released. Lu Wanqing watched the man shining boldly on stage, her eyes filled with obsession. This is her man, a man who stands alone against the world and wins. But just as the crowd cheered, Lin Chan's mind was suddenly startled by an unprecedented system notification. Detected host has completed the achievement of crushing old capital. System is undergoing a final upgrade. Upgrade complete. Luxury system version 3.0. Dimensional overlord unlocked. New functions available. Dimensional Mall is no longer limited to Earth's technology. Level 1 universal civilization technology is now available, such as antimatter energy, gene lock activation, liquid space folding technology, overlord domain. Within 100 meters of the host, you have absolute authority to alter physical laws. Gravity doubled. Time freeze for 1 second. Final mission unlocked. Global Tycoon Purge. Lin Chan looked at these new functions, gold light surging in his eyes. Even the surrounding air began to ripple visibly due to overflowing energy. Dimensional overlord. Just then, the Zhongtian suddenly stood up. He looked at Lin Chan, not only without fear, but with a strange smile on his face. Outstanding, Lin Chan. Really incredible. The Zhongtian clapped his hands and slowly walked towards Lin Chan. Looks like the legend is true. You really have that thing on you. Originally, the family planned to let you live, to serve as a money-making tool. But now, you've grown beyond control. The Zhongtian pulled out a black remote from his pocket. Do you know what this is? This Caesar Palace cruise ship has already been rigged with 3 tons of liquid explosives. If I press this button, no matter how much money you have, or what dark technology you possess, everything will be reduced to ashes instantly. Lin Chan, hand over your system. Or let this boatload of elites and your beloved woman die with you. The cheering stopped abruptly. Su Wanqing's face turned deathly pale. You're insane, Zhentian. Are you crazy? There are hundreds of innocent people on this ship. Innocent? The Zhentian laughed wildly. Those who achieve great things disregard minor details. As long as I get the luxury system, not just a few hundred people, even if half of Jiangcheng dies, it's worth it. Lin Chan, kneel and strip your system out, or I'll press the button. The Zhongtian's finger hovered over the red button. Lin Chan looked at him like he was staring at a clown. Time freeze. Lin Chan softly uttered 4 words. Overlord domain activated. Time freeze for 1 second. Buzz. The entire world suddenly turned gray and white. Spittle midair. Panic-stricken faces. The waves rolling. Even the Zontian's finger pressing down. All frozen in that instant. Lin Chan moved leisurely, like he was strolling in a backyard. He calmly walked up to the Zontian and took the remote from his hand, then slapped the Zentian across the face. Slap. Time resumed. The Zentian's vision blurred, and the remote in his hand vanished. Then half his face exploded in pain.
He spun like a top right on the spot 3 times.
Several teeth mixed with blood flew out. The Zentian held his face and looked in terror a few meters away at Lin Chan playing with the remote. Are you human or ghost? How did you do that? What just happened? Teleportation. Lin Chan crushed the remote, and the shards fell. I told you, in this domain. Oh my god. Lin Chan strode up to the Zontian, towering over him, the once mighty the family, second in command. The family is finished. Tonight, this ship will not sink. But the family is definitely going down. Lin Chan turned around and addressed the stunned guests in the audience, announcing that the banquet will continue tonight. But the next program is judgment. The Zontian colluded with foreign forces, attempted to murder a national hero, and planted bombs in a public place. The evidence is solid. Long Yi is present. Long Yi appeared out of nowhere, bringing a squad of death warriors, like phantoms behind the Zontian. They tossed him down to the waters below. Lin Chan, how dare you? I'm a member of the family. My big brother is... A huge splash interrupted the Zontian's rant, ending all his yelling. The river was ice cold, bottomless. Just like Lin Chan's gaze at this moment. He looked northward. The family's last car was gone. Next, it's time to collect the biggest debt in Beijing. Su Wanqing walked beside him and gripped his hand tightly, though her palm still trembled. Her gaze was unwavering and resolute. This time, I'll go with you. Lin Chan gripped her hand in return, as he looked at the dragon head in his palm, symbolizing royal authority. All right, what we're going to take back is not just justice, but a new era that's ours. Beijing's late autumn was gloomy and bleak. The family mansion at the foot of Shishan, which witnessed 3 dynastic changes, and stood tall through countless struggles for power, an unshakable giant, was now shrouded in unprecedented fear. Dark clouds filled the sky, hanging so low they seemed almost within reach. In the family's main hall, the atmosphere was suffocating. The family's current patriarch, who used to make Beijing tremble just by stomping his foot, was old Zoin the master. At this moment he sat upright in the Grand Master's chair. But in his hand, the 2 lion-head walnuts he had played with for half his life had already been crushed into powder. Below him was the Tianling who had just escaped back, and on both sides of the main hall sat 7 or 8 elders with restrained auras and pronounced, bulging temples. These people were the true foundation of the family. The clan's 8 divisions. Each one was a grandmaster in the world of encouragement arts. Second uncle was thrown into the river to feed the fish. The Tianling was still trembling uncontrollably. Smack the Zen swung his cane backhandedly. You worthless fool. Boosting the enemy's morale, while undermining your own. The Zen stood up, although he was over 80 years old. The murderous aura forged from piles of corpses and seas of blood still struck terror into everyone. Supernatural powers? Where would there be such things in this world? It is nothing more than some unknown, extra-advanced technology. He swept his gaze around, eyes sharp like a hawk's. The family has stood in Beijing for 100 years. We've seen all sorts of storms and upheavals. Back when the 8-nation alliance invaded the capital, they couldn't destroy the family. And he, just a nouveau rich. What right does he have to command my family? Master's order, the Za'an suddenly struck his cane against the ground. The floor tile instantly shattered. Activate the Skynet defense system. That's the laser defense array we bought for 20 billion. From the Western Blackwater Corporation. Even cruise missiles can't get through it. 8 divisions, listen up. Guard the inner courtyard. As long as that Ling guy dares to step through our front gate, kill him on the spot. Meanwhile, a flash of insane resolve appeared in the Zhen's eyes. Release the thing in the forbiddance area behind the mountain. since he wants to use inhuman means. I'll let him see for himself what a real monster is. At the mention of that thing, all 8 Grandmaster level experts present changed color at once, with deep apprehension, and even terror in their eyes. Just then, rumble high up in the sky above, a deep muffled thunder rumbled suddenly. But it didn't sound like natural thunder. It was more like a colossal engine, creating a sonic boom as it compressed the lower atmosphere. Everyone at the family's old residence subconsciously rushed out of the main hall and looked up to the sky. The next second, everyone's pupils shrank dramatically. Suddenly, the thick, dark clouds overhead seemed to be torn open by an invisible giant hand, forcefully ripped apart, leaving a gaping hole. A massive pitch-black vessel, shaped like a sharp sword, silently hovered above the family's courtyard, blocking out the sun, casting a gigantic shadow over everyone's hearts. No propellers, no jet vents. It just hovered there quietly, defying all known laws of physics. That was the interstellar shuttle exchanged from the system store, the civilian beggar version of the Heaven's Punishment. Though it's the beggar version, it's more than enough to intimidate the natives on Earth. That's already sufficient. What is this? The Tianling collapsed onto the ground and wet himself. This is Ling Chun's ride. He's an alien. He's really an alien. The Zhen's hands were shaking too, but he still forced himself to stay composed. Frantically yelled at the anti-air group through the intercom. Open fire! Shoot it down! Suddenly, the fake mountains around the courtyard cracked open, revealing 4 seafy-looking laser turrets, plus 6 sets of anti-air missile launchers. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Flames shot skyward. 6 heat-seeking missiles trailing long tails of flame screamed toward the massive black ship in the sky. Immediately after, 4 high-energy laser beams, like the swords of death, stabbed straight at the ship's underbelly. This was the family's final move. And firepower capable of destroying a modern armored division. Yet, facing such devastating attacks, that black spacecraft didn't even activate its shields. It was only at the bow that a faint blue glow appeared. System command initiated. Physical rules correction. Kinetic energy nullified. A bizarre scene unfolded. Those 6 missiles flying at 3 times the speed of sound, just 100 meters from the ship, suddenly acted like fireworks running out of fuel. Their speed instantly dropped to 0 and fell straight down like free-falling stones. Boom, 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 the missiles dropped onto the family grounds, landing on rocks, the ground, and in the fish pond. Violent explosions instantly swallowed up the family's anti-air defenses. As for the 4 laser beams, hitting the ship's surface, it was like a flashlight shining on a mirror, directly reflected back. ZZZZ! The 4 laser turrets were instantly melted by their own lasers into puddles of molten iron. In just an instant, the billion-dollar family line of defense self-destructed. When the smoke cleared, the family courtyard was a complete mess. Everywhere lay ruins and grieving bodyguards. The Zun stood at the entrance of the Hall of Loyalty, his face covered in dust, eyes lifeless. His pride, the Heavenly King, was gone just like that. Right then, the bottom of the spacecraft slowly opened a hatch. 2 silhouettes jumped down from 1,000 meters high. No parachutes, no gliders, just free fall. Crazy, that's suicide! The family grandmaster exclaimed. But when there were just 10 meters left before hitting the ground, the pair's descent suddenly defied inertia and gently landed on the ground, without so much as stirring a speck of dust. Ling Chun and Su Wanqing. Ling Chun wore a black trench coat, over the same casual suit he'd worn in Zhangcheng. As for Su Wanqing, she sported a sharp white tactical outfit, holding the case containing the dragon's head. The two stood side by side, in the center of the family ruins, like a pair of divine beings descending to earth. Old Master Di, nice to meet you for the first time. Ling Chun looked up at the steps, where the Zayan now seemed to have aged 10 years in a moment. A faint smile at the corner of his lips. Quite the entrance gift, don't you think? You the Zayan pointed at Ling Chun, so furious that blood stuck in his throat. Ling Chun, this is Beijing. We are under the Emperor's feet. You dare openly use heavy weapons to attack private property. That's rebellion and assault. Ling Chun shrugged. Old man, Your eyes must be playing tricks on you. Clearly, it was the family hiding illegal weapons and mishandling them, causing accidental detonation. I'm just a concerned citizen who came here specifically to help with the fire. As he spoke, Ling Chun snapped his fingers. Long Yi, send the footage to the security bureau. Long Yi's voice echoed from the air. Everything that just happened was already recorded by the ship's holographic cameras. The family definitely fired first. Then the missiles fell and exploded on themselves. Ling Chun didn't even lift a finger. Shameless. The Zun was shaking all over with rage. Compared to what the family has done, I'm nowhere near you. Ling Chun's face turned cold. He strode forward 8 steps. Chang, kill him for me. The Zen roared. The 8 grandmasters who had been watching glanced at each other. Although Ling Chun's entrance was terrifying, as martial artists, their pride made them believe no mortal on earth was unkillable. Too arrogant brat. Watch my iron palm. A burly old man roared, stamped on the floor tiles, and shot at Ling Chun like a cannonball. His palms, dark as iron, swung at Ling Chun's head, creating a foul wind. This strike could break stones and split pillars. Ling Chun didn't even look his way. System ability. Increase gravity by 100 times. Kneel, Ling Chun uttered softly. Boom! The Grandmaster, still a knitter, was suddenly crushed by an invisible mountain, with absolutely no way to resist. He landed with a brutally tragic posture, smashing hard onto the ground. Not kneeling, but crashing. His kneecaps instantly shattered. A deep pit was created by the impact. His whole body was plastered on the pit's bottom like a sticker, and he passed out cold. Silence fell over the entire place. The remaining 7 grandmasters all stopped dead in their tracks, staring in terror at what they'd just seen. Word becomes law. What level is this? Even land immortals have to think twice. Ling Chun looked around. I don't mind turning this place into a morgue. The 7 grandmasters looked at each other. Then, as if perfectly in sync, stepped back and turned to run. Are you kidding? No way ordinary humans could ever face this. Money is nice, but life matters more. A bunch of losers. Losers! The Zahan watched his worshipped ones flee in all directions, nearly bursting a blood vessel from rage. At this moment, Ling Chun had already walked to the foot of the Hall of Loyalty's steps. He didn't go straight in, but beckoned to Su Wanqing behind him. Wanqing handed it to him. Su Wanqing stepped forward, placed the case on the ground, and opened it. Inside lay the imposing bronze dragon head. Its gaze seemed to judge this decaying family. The Zun Ling Chun's voice was cold as ice. This was originally what the family colluded with outsiders for, to humiliate the Chinese people. Now I've brought it back and set it right here. It's not a gift for you. I just want to teach you a lesson. Lin Chan stepped onto the stairs at dawn, staring fiercely at the Zayan. Dragons are meant to be revered, not to be sold. The family doesn't deserve to live in this courtyard. The Zoan stared at the dragon head, and then at Lin Chen, who kept pressing forward. The fear in his eyes finally turned into desperate madness. The Zan let out a bizarre, late-night laugh. Lin Chen, you think you've won? You think high-tech lets you control everything? You have no idea what this world is really like. The Zoan suddenly pulled something out from his chest, a black object covered in strange runes, and it blew on it hard. A piercing whistle instantly echoed throughout the whole mountain. Right after, the ground began to tremble. A nauseating stench filled the air, flooding out from the Forbidden's area in the back mountain. With a roar, the mutant bellowed up to the sky. The back mountain's wall came crashing down. A monstrous figure, at least 3 meters tall, covered head to toe in black scales, with blood-red eyes, moved on all fours, charging out like a runaway tank. Wherever it passed, plants withered, the tiles on the ground corroded. At that moment, Su Wanqing's expression changed. A bio-monster. Lin Chan, take a look for yourself. The Zun laughed maniacally. This is the ultimate weapon the Freemasons gave me. Tyrantits made from ancient biological genes. Fused with a mutated T-virus, it feels no pain, has immense strength, and is extremely poisonous. The tyrant roared, locking onto Lin Jun. It suddenly leaped, those claws able to tear open a tank, aimed straight for Lin Chun's face. Facing this bio-monster, Lin Chun finally showed a bit of emotion.
Disgust?
Is this your trump card? Lin Chun shook his head. Too ugly, just as Tyrant's claw was about to touch the tip of Lin Chun's nose. Lin Chun's right hand suddenly rose. There was no earth-shattering light. In his hand suddenly appeared an ordinary-looking lightsaber. No, that's not a lightsaber. It's a high-frequency particle cutting blade. A household chopping board. A faint hiss sounded. Lin Chun's arm traced a graceful curve. Time seemed to freeze in that moment. Tyrant's massive body flew right over Lin Chun's head and crashed heavily behind Lin Chun on the ground. No explosion and no bloody gore, but on the monster's waist, a thin, thread-like red line appeared. A second later, splash. That's so-called impregnable. All-powerful ultimate weapon. Its upper body slowly slid off. The cut was as smooth as glass. Even the cross-section of the organs was clearly visible, sealed instantly by high-heat carbonization. Not a single drop of blood leaked out. Instant kill. A real instant kill. The Zhen's manic laughter came to an abrupt stop. His mouth opened wide enough to fit a fist. He stared at the twitching body in two pieces on the ground, feeling his worldview completely collapse. That was something the Freemasons spent $1 billion to create. A creature that could withstand rocket fire, cut as easily as tofu. Lin Chun put away the particle blade. System reclaimed. He patted his hands, as if he'd just done something trivial. He walked up to the now completely paralyzed the Zun, and kicked away the dragon head cane symbolizing the patriarch's authority. Anything else? Lin Chun leaned down, looking into the Zhen's murky, fear-filled old eyes. If there's nothing else, it's time to settle accounts. Back then, you're the family teamed up with Xiao family to set up my father, forced him to his death and seized the Lin family's property. How do we settle that debt? Just now you ordered a missile strike on me, trying to kill me to silence me. How do we settle that debt? The Zhen's lips trembled and quivered. I'm willing to pay compensation. All the family's money is yours. Billions all yours. I'm begging you to spare my life like a dog. Money? Lin Chun smiled. Old Master Thee, you may have forgotten. Right now, money is the last thing I need. Lin Chun straightened up, looking up at the sky. That massive Sky Punisher ship hovering overhead suddenly projected a giant holographic screen. On the screen were meticulous pieces of evidence. Evidence of the family selling national secrets, financial records of the family laundering money, recordings of the family assassinating competitors, and even the Zhen's recent order to use illegal weapons caught on camera. Meanwhile, in the streets and alleys of Beijing, all outdoor screens, phones, computers were forcefully pop-upped, live broadcasting this evidence simultaneously. The whole city was in shock. The entire nation was shaken. No. The Zon stared at what was on the screen, totally hopeless. This was about ruining the family's reputation forever. A disgrace lasting generations. Worse than being killed. Devastating the heart, Lin Chun said calmly. The Zun, I want you to watch with your own eyes, as your proud century-old enterprise collapses under the contempt of the people, with a deafening crash. At that moment, the distant sound of sirens approached. This time it wasn't the family calling their protection, but a direct order from the highest authorities, fully armed special forces, and the law enforcement squad from the military tribunal. The Zan, you are charged with treason and crimes against humanity. You are now lawfully placed under arrest. Cold handcuffs were fastened onto the Zhen's wrists. The mighty leader who dominated for half a century finally bowed his proud head. As he was escorted into the police car, he looked back, only to see Lin Chun sitting on the Grand Master's chair symbolizing absolute power, with Su Wanqing in his arms, playing with the dragon head, raising a glass to him in salute. That is the winner's gesture. Also the coronation of rise and fall. The family fell completely and utterly. Root and all were wiped out, with all core members of the family arrested, and their protection behind cleared away. The power structure of Beijing was completely reshuffled overnight, and Lin Chun became the sole taboo. Late at night, the family's old mansion has now been sealed off, temporarily serving as Lin Chun's base. Lin Chun stood at the edge of the cliff behind the mountain, looking down at the dazzling lights of Beijing at his feet. Zhu Wanqing draped a coat over him. What are you thinking about? Your revenge is done. Aren't you happy? Lin Chan shook his head and held her hand. Even though the family is gone, it's not over yet. That monster tyrant was the handle of the Western Freemasons. Also, Lin Chan took out from his chest the black bone whistle.
He'd retrieved from the Zhen's body.
His eyes grew serious. The material of this bone whistle isn't from Earth. It's made from bones of some kind of high-dimensional life form. It contains a type of energy fluctuation even the system cannot fully decode. The system just warned me. Earth's coordinates may have been exposed. Su Wanqing asked, exposed to whom? Lin Chan looked up at the vast starlit sky. Those true predators. Just then, the system in Lin Chan's mind suddenly issued an unprecedented, piercing alarm. Warning, warning. Dimensional wall is cracking. Detected abyssal presence. Invasion coordinates. Center of the Pacific Ocean. Target, seize the dimension. Master the core and the host. Lin Chan's pupils. Gold data streams danced wildly. He took a deep breath and crushed the bone whistle in his hand. Looks like there's no time to rest. Wanqing, notify Long Yi. Shadow Legion, all units assemble. Also activate all weapon systems on the Divine Punishment. We're heading to the Pacific. Some guests have come a long way. I have to give them a proper reception. Pacific Center, Point Nemo. Point Nemo. This is the spot in the ocean farthest from any land on Earth. The southern pole is known to humans as the graveyard of spacecraft. But today, this so-called Sea of Death is boiling like a pot in hell, 10,000 meters above sea level. The pitch-black Divine Punishment interstellar shuttle was hovering among the clouds. Its optical stealth mode was activated. Inside the cockpit, Ling Chan stood before the holographic projection platform, looking down at the ocean below. Beside him, Su Wanqing was wearing a skin-tight nano-combat suit, even though she had already witnessed Ling Chan's many wonders. At this moment, staring at the data displayed on the holoscreen, she still felt a chill run down her spine. What is this? There's a city under the sea, Su Wanqing pointed at the densely packed heat signatures on the screen. The screen showed that 3,000 meters deep under Point Nemo, a massive structure stood out, a pyramid-shaped complex glowing with an eerie green light. Its scale even surpassed Jiang City. Countless submarines and underwater mechs were busy moving about like worker bees.
This
is the true headquarters of the Western Secret Society, Freemasons. The Atlantis Fortress. They're hidden deep, for sure. Ling Chan stared at the enormous pyramid, his eyes shimmering with gold. System analysis shows that the energy core of this base is resonating at a high-dimensional level. They're summoning something. Summoning what? The tyrant is just a watchdog. This time, they're summoning the master of the hound. At this moment, Long Yi's voice sounded directly through the neural link. Boss, the enemy has discovered us. The ocean surface defense system is now active. Before he finished speaking, the once calm sea suddenly began to churn violently. With a roar, the seawater exploded. 12 gigantic metal pillars, each over 10 meters wide, rose from the surface, piercing the clouds. Right after, blinding high-energy ion beams interwove into a dense, inescapable net of death, instantly locking onto the Divine Punishment in the clouds. Divine Punishment warning. High energy strike detected, energy level. Nuclear explosion scale. The ship's AI let out a sharp alarm. Finally showing yourself, huh? Ling Chan curled his lips into an arrogant, cold smile. Since they want to play Star Wars, I'll give them a taste of what a dimensionality reduction strike really is. Redeem, planetary railgun. Rods from God, single-use trial edition. Deducting funds, 500 billion. Celestial machine weapons in position. Ling Chan raised his hand and gently pressed toward the ocean below. God said, let there be light. 30,000 kilometers away in orbit. A massive tungsten alloy, kinetic weapon platform disguised as a weather satellite, suddenly adjusted its orientation. A dense tungsten rod, 6 meters long and weighing several tons, accelerated along an electromagnetic rail, plummeting toward Earth at a terrifying speed Mach 20. The atmosphere was torn apart instantly. The tungsten rod's friction generated blinding heat, turning it into a falling sun. A few seconds later, over the Pacific Ocean, the 12 metal pillars that were still spewing death rays, along with 10 kilometers of surrounding seawater, were vaporized in an instant by a beam of annihilation from above, completely erased. A thunderous boom followed, so loud it shattered the eardrums of whales 1,000 miles away. A massive shockwave triggered a 100-meter-tall tsunami, spreading out in all directions, and the Atlantis fortress deep beneath the sea, its energy shield, now flickered violently from the blow, like a candle in a gale on the verge of going out. Inside the underwater fortress, core council chamber, the hall was magnificent, with the surrounding walls carved with indescribable, ancient god totems. 12 elders in red robes, wearing golden masks, sat around a round table. They are the highest authority of the Freemasons, the Council of 12, at this moment. These masterminds behind global financial wars and plagues stared at the ceiling collapsing overhead, falling into unprecedented panic. Rods from God. That's the rods from God. One of the elders shrieked in terror. That's a weapon that only existed in theory. How could Ling Chan possibly have that? Is he a higher dimensional observer from another civilization? We must accelerate the ritual, croaked the first elder at the head of the table. Half of his face, decayed, showed beneath the mask, with black tentacles writhing on it. Only by summoning the Abyssal Lord can we survive? Even if we have to sacrifice the entire planet, our immortality must be preserved. Begin the sacrifice. 12 elders slit their wrists simultaneously, and their blood dripped into a dark vortex at the center of the table. As the blood was infused, the vortex began to spin wildly. A repulsively evil presence burst forth in an instant, piercing straight through the alloy fortress underwater, shooting up toward the surface. Above the ocean, Ling Chan frowned. What a disgusting stench he could feel. A deeply evil energy awakening below the sea. That energy wasn't of Earth origin, and hungered to devour everything. Wanqing, stay on the ship. Activate all shields. Ling Chan turned to Su Wanqing and said, the battle ahead might get a little dirty. You're going down there? Su Wanqing grabbed his hand. It's too dangerous. That's 3,000 meters beneath the sea. Don't worry. I have a deep-sea battlesuit. After saying that, Ling Chan walked to the hatch and leapt out. System start. Poseidon battle armor deployed. Mitter coverage complete. Countless streams of blue nanometal covered Ling Chan's entire body in an instant, forming a streamlined, dark blue suit of armor, wielding a trident, with ion jets glowing blue from boosters on his back. Ling Chan plunged into the boiling ocean like a torpedo. He slammed hard into the water. The moment he entered, the surrounding ocean seemed to part for a king, automatically opening to either side. Ling Chan accelerated underwater, moving even faster than the super cannon. Ahead of the torpedo, the massive pyramid fortress came clearly into view, and all around the fortress, tens of thousands of mutated monsters, gill-breathing tyrants, cybernetic giant sharks, even humanoid octopus creatures, swarmed at him like a raging swarm. Ling Chan smashed his trident down, swinging it forcefully. Domain of Dominion. Absolute zero. With a crack centered on Ling Chan, seawater within a kilometer instantly froze. Countless charging monsters didn't even have time to open their mouths. They were instantly turned into lifelike ice sculptures. Ling Chan did not slow down. He directly smashed countless ice statues. Like a meteor, he slammed hard against the fortress's energy shield. The tip of the trident of destruction erupted with a dazzling golden light. That's antimatter annihilation energy. Death blast. The indestructible energy shield shattered like a bubble. Ling Chan didn't lose any strength at all. He pierced straight through the fortress's outer wall and crashed loudly into the core council hall. As the smoke and dust cleared, Ling Chan walked out of the ruins holding his trident. 12 elders who were holding a ritual were thrown to the ground by the massive shockwave. Everyone was covered in dust and dirt. Go on. Ling Chan stomped and shattered the great elder's mask, revealing underneath it a face that's neither human nor ghost. Why aren't you chanting anymore? Forgot your lines, did you? You. The great elder stared fearfully at Lin Chen. Black tendrils in his body wildly twitched, trying to attack. Poof! Lin Chen squeezed lightly with his hand. pinning the great elder to the ground. Golden energy surged from the trident. Those tendrils turned to ash with a miserable scream. Don't die just yet. Lin Chun stared coldly at the remaining 11 elders. Tell me what the abyss really is. Why did you let the wolf in the door? It's too late. It's already too late. An elder suddenly began to laugh madly, pointing at the black vortex in the center of the round table. The gate is already open. The Lord has already set his gaze here. You're all going to die, all to become nourishment for the Lord. Before he even finished speaking, the black vortex suddenly swelled violently and instantly swallowed the entire round table, then transformed into a pillar of black light piercing the sky. That punched straight through the fortress dome, straight into the clouds. An instinctive terror from the soul swept the room. Ling Chun jerked his head upward. Inside that black pillar of light,
A giant.
scaly, eye-covered hand slowly extended. That hand was enormous. Just one finger was 100 meters long. Next came a gigantic head, a face beyond words' description, covered in extra eyes, mouth oozing green acid. The Abyssal Lord, Shadow of Gilu. Projection level, Rank 3 Cosmic Civilization War Power Assessment. Planet-destroying class system. Red warning frames nearly filled Ling Chun's view. Level 3 Civilization. Ling Chun took a deep breath. Now this is getting interesting. The giant monster didn't fully emerge. Only half its body came through, and that was enough to nearly fill the entire underwater chamber. Its countless compound eyes locked intensely onto Ling Chun and uttered a sound that acted directly on the brainwaves. System owner, found you. It felt like billions of bugs crawling inside your head. Enough to drive a person insane. Looking for me? Ling Chun raised an eyebrow. What, you want my credit line now too? Hand over the original seed, or face destruction. The monster roared, its giant hand grabbing toward Ling Chun. This grab carried the force of spatial lockdown laws. There was simply no escaping. Ling Chun felt as if space itself was frozen around him. His body simply wouldn't move. So this is the power of a Tier 3 civilization. It's on the level of cosmic laws. Boss, look out! Su Wanqing's terrified scream came through the cum. Don't panic. Ling Chun shut his eyes, took a deep breath. System, I want to buy a cheat. Host, please specify. I want to purchase ownership of this entire dimension. The system was silent for a second, seemingly shocked by Ling Chun's wild idea, replying to host. To buy ownership of the entire Earth dimension costs 100 million trillion times 10 to the 20th. Tycoon points. Host. Current balance insufficient. Who said I want to buy the Earth? Ling Chun suddenly opened his eyes. The golden light in his gaze turned chaotic gray. What I want to buy is at this very moment. The protagonist's plot armor for this very second. Host intention detected. Activating special items. Child of Destiny, absolute luck of the world. Limited to 10 seconds prices. All remaining assets cleared to 0. Proceed with exchange? All assets reset to 0. That's hundreds of billions. Tens of trillions. Ling Chun didn't hesitate for even a second. If you run out of money, you can earn more. If you lose your life or the planet blows up, then it's really game over. Transaction successful. Host balance is now 0. Child of Destiny mode activated. In the next 10 seconds, you are basically the father of this universe. Boom! An indescribable force instantly took hold of Ling Chun. That frozen space shattered in a split second. Ling Chun moved. He didn't dodge. That giant hand was rushing to meet him. The trident in his hand disappeared. In its place was an ordinary-looking frying pan. That's right, it was the artifact of fortune the system gave. Go to hell, Ling Chun roared. The frying pan in his hand smashed hard onto the Abyss Lord's finger. A crisp and delightful clang of metal rang out. Then the impossible happened. That monster capable of destroying planets, known as a Tier 3 civilization entity, the Abyssal Lord, was actually struck by this frying pan. And its finger was broken on the spot. Nice. The monster let out a roar of pain and confusion. It didn't understand. This makes no sense. I'm not done yet. Ling Chun's figure flickered, instantly appearing in front of the monster's huge eyeball. This smash is for everyone you killed. Crack, a giant compound eye burst open. Green fluid splattered. This one's because you're too ugly. And you scared my Wanqing. Pop, another eye burst. This one's for you making me dirt poor. Bam, 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 bam. Ling Chan was like a glitched out video on cheat mode. The frying pan became a blur of countless afterimages. In just a few seconds.
He smacked that gigantic face thousands of times.
And every blow triggered an absolute crit, an absolute stun, and guaranteed armor break. That Abyss Lord was completely shaken. For the first time in ages, it actually felt fear. This human isn't normal. This power is a causality blow above the rules themselves. Crawl back to your cesspit. At the last second, Ling Chun leapt high into the air, putting everything he had into one final strike to the monster's forehead. Take that. The Abyss Lord's massive body was somehow forced straight back into the black vortex by the blow. No, I'll be back. The monster roared in unwilling rage, but its body tumbled uncontrollably into the abyss. Before the vortex closed, Ling Chan reached into his pocket, pulled out a binomial bomb he bought from the store. Youth edition. It was a slip of paper with a silly cartoon face. Here's a present for you. Something for the road. Ling Chan casually tossed the paper into the vortex. By now, the vortex suddenly shrank. Then, powered by that paper, space itself began to collapse, returning everything to the original path. The abyssal passage instantly turned into a painting. A flat oil painting suspended in the void. Inside the painting is the terrified face of that monster. Everything returned to calm. Ding, Son of Reality mode ends. Congratulations, host. You have achieved Godslayer. Current balance. Oh. Lin Chun floated in the empty ruins beneath the sea at dawn. He looked at the mess everywhere, and those 12 elder corpses shattered by energy waves. He reached into his pocket. He really didn't have a single cent left. He didn't even have enough for a taxi back to Jiangcheng. Sigh, impulsiveness is a devil. Lin Chun let out a sigh. Just then, a submarine approached slowly. It was Su Wanqing piloting the Heaven's Punishment's escape pod. She came to pick him up. The window hatch opened. Su Wanqing swam out without hesitation. She tightly hugged Lin Chun. We won, we really did it. Yeah, we won. Lin Chun gave a wry smile. But Wanqing, I have some bad news for you. What is it? Su Wanqing looked at him nervously. I'm bankrupt. I don't have a penny left now. I'm really flat broke. Wanqing paused for a moment, then suddenly burst out laughing. She cupped Lin Chun's face in the water and kissed him. It's fine. You used to take care of me. Now it's my turn to take care of you. Don't forget, I'm now the chairwoman of Shao Group, Su Group, and also Atlantic Bank. Lin Chun laughed too. Looks like I'm set to live off you now. They surfaced on the sea, looking at the long-awaited sunshine. The waves in the Pacific have settled down. However, Ling Chun knew, this peace was only temporary. The words spoken by the Abyss Lord before leaving, and the system's hints about the previous host, all pointed to greater secrets. What exactly is the system? Why are all those higher dimensional beings fighting over it? Host has completed all Phase 2 combat missions detected. Ultimate quest unlocked. Origin of the system. Host, please head to Death Valley in Kunlun Mountains. There, the remains of the previous system host are buried. Lin Chun looked at the virtual panel in front of him. His expression grew grave. The previous host's remains. Looks like the ending of this story isn't just a simple rags to riches. It's a plot spanning 10,000 years. Wanqing, go home and pack up. Lin Chun gazed at the distant skyline. We're heading for the last stop, to uncover the truth behind it all. Kunlun Mountain, known here as the Gate of Hell. Thunder relentlessly rages year-round. The magnetic field is extremely chaotic. Hundreds of years. Countless herders and explorers have died here, leaving not a trace of remains. Yet today, the thunder here is fiercer than ever before. Boom, a purple bolt splits the sky open, striking hard at the valley floor covered in perpetual snow. A huge pitch-black warship, Heaven's Punishment, ignoring thunder powerful enough to destroy tanks instantly, like a moving steel fortress, slowly descended deep into Death Valley. The hatch opened. Cold winds howled. Lin Chun stepped out holding Su Wanqing's hand. He was no longer wearing his battle armor, just a simple black outdoor jacket. but his eyes were even deeper than the glaciers of Kunlun. Is this really the end? Su Wanqing looked at the field of cattle and sheep bones ahead, and felt a chill in her heart. It's the end and also the beginning. Lin Chan checked the system radar in his hand. On the screen, the glowing red dot representing the origin burned intensely, right beneath their feet. Let's get started. Dragon Consciousness. The Shadow Legion, already on standby, operated 2 giant laser drills, targeting the massive black rock at the valley bottom, and began work. As the rock melted under the heat, a stunning secret slowly emerged to the world. It wasn't a rock at all. It was a Bronze Star sword, ancient and majestic, buried for countless millennia. Its design was rustic and somber. Complex cloud and thunder patterns covered its surface. Its hilt had a ferocious dragon's head. Despite ages of erosion, it still emanated a suffocating imperial aura. This style is from the Qin dynasty, Su Wanqing cried out in shock. Could it be that the legend of Qin Shi Huang's tomb is more than just a myth? Lin Chan took a deep breath. He pulled Su Wanqing and jumped into the newly opened entrance. Welcome aboard Emperor Qin's command ship. The interior wasn't as dark as expected. The moment Lin Chan stepped into the control room, countless eternal lamps, actually nuclear fusion lights, lit up automatically. In the center of the hall stood a throne forged of black gold. Above the throne sat a skeleton wearing a black dragon robe. Even as bones, he still maintained a hand on his sword, gazing at the sky. Fortunate for what I gain, unyielding for what I lose, such domineering spirit. After 2,000 years, it still inspires reverence. And in front of the skeleton floated a crystal glowing with gentle white light, the origin of civilization. System, so this was your previous host? Lin Chan asked softly. Dick, yes. The system's cold mechanical voice now carried a hint of sorrow. The previous host, Ying Zheng. Cody name, Ancestor Dragon. System version 1.0. Civilization supremacy. To resist the Abyss's first invasion, he used up all system points, forcefully burned out his own life force, activated the 9 provinces barrier and Great Wall orbital defense, and finally died of exhaustion. Lin Chan felt deep respect. So the building of the Great Wall wasn't just to keep the Xiongnu at bay, but to fight hunters from the sky. But at that moment, the origin suddenly shuddered. A holographic projection appeared from the skeleton, a dignified middle-aged man, though just an image. His eyes seemed to pierce through time and space. The voice of Ying Zheng echoed in the hall, carrying the ancient melodies of Qin. By the time you see this message, I am no longer here. I unified the 6 kingdoms, standardized language and transport, thinking it would bring peace for China for generations. But there's always someone above. Those greedy predators, the Abyss, they used Earth's coordinates. I poured every resource, built 12 colossal golden mecha, the Great Wall, ITAL cannon arrays. And though I repel them for now, I knew they'd return. I left the origin. It records my unfinished ambitions and the last remnants of my legacy. If you care about the world, then merge with it. Protect this beautiful land for me. The image faded. Lin Chan remained silent for a long time. Then he stepped forward, reached out and grasped the origin. Don't worry, ancestor. Lin Jian's eyes were determined. The battles you haven't finished, I'll fight them for you. Whatever wealth you didn't use, I'll spend it for you. Hey, I'm here to spend for you. The origin seed instantly merged into Lin Chan's palm. Countless complex streams of information flooded his mind. Those are the memories of Ying Zheng. They're blueprints of ancient technology. And even more, it's the defense permissions for the entire Earth. Origin seed fusion detected successfully. Godly Tycoon System's final form. Activating Earth OL Administrator mode. Congratulations, host. You have inherited the legacy of the first emperor. The current balance in your account can't be measured by numbers, because what you've inherited is the full fortune and historical foundation of Waxia. At the very moment Lin Zhang merged with the origin seed, external abnormalities erupted. The sky above Mount Kunlun instantly collapsed. This was no longer just minor fissures. The entire sky turned blood red. Countless massive black battleships swarmed out from the dimensional rift like locusts. They are the main fleet of the Abyss civilization. They finally locked onto Earth's coordinates. The full-scale assault has begun. Warning, warning. Detected planet-destroying level. Enemy attack. Number, 100,000 ships. Estimated countdown to Earth's destruction, 10 minutes. Su Wanqing stared at the alarm on her wrist. Her face went pale. Lin Chan, can we really hold out this time? That's 100,000 interstellar warships. Lin Chan slowly opened his eyes. His pupils had turned completely gold. That is the majesty belonging to the administrator. He glanced at his reset personal account, and then looked at the system panel, where the shining dragon-shaped legacy account was displayed. Lin Chan smiled. It was a wildly arrogant smile. Why fight? Since the ancestors left me a legacy, it's meant to be spent lavishly. Lin Chan walked out of Ancient Sword, holding Su Wanqing's hand. Standing on the highest point of Death Valley, he faced the overwhelming alien fleet head-on. He raised his hand and snapped his fingers toward the sky. System, I want to make a purchase. Host, please state your request. One want to buy this segment of history. Awake the 12 golden Titan mechas. Awake the new ring defense array of the Great Wall. Awake the million Qin Terracotta Ghost Legion. Payment method, 5,000 years of Waxia's national fortune. Ding. Payment successful? Awakening in progress. The very next second, the entire Shenzhou land boiled over. The ground beneath Xi'an's Qin Shi Huang mausoleum shook violently. The earth mounds exploded, not clay soldiers, but the mud covering thousands upon thousands of terracotta warriors. Instantly peeled away, revealing the chilling metallic nanobodies beneath. Their eyes lit up red. The bronze swords in their hands turned into plasma instantly. Wind, strong winds. Deafening battle cries echoed across the sky. A million mechanical Qin terracotta warriors soared upward. Meanwhile, at the Xianyang ruins, 12 gigantic bronze mechas, each measuring 1,000 meters high, burst from the earth. Each one of them emitted energy fluctuations rivaling a nuclear power plant. Wielding giant axes and spears, they looked like revived ancient gods. Even more astonishing, the old Great Wall, stretching for thousands of miles, suddenly glowed with dazzling golden light. Bricks and stones fell off, unveiling superconducting magnetic rails buried for 2,000 years beneath. Artillery arrays. What is this? The commander of the Abyss fleet in the sky stared at the planet that suddenly revived below. So shocked its tentacles stiffened. Who gave you permission to overlook my kingdom? Lin Chan's voice, amplified by Origin Seed, echoed worldwide.
Even.
Directly exploded in every alien's mind. He waved one hand to kill. Boom! 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 The Great Wall transformed into a massive golden dragon. Countless antimatter beams shot skyward, instantly vaporizing the first wave of alien vanguard fleets. The 12 Titan Goldmen leaped onto the clouds. Each swing of their giant weapons destroyed a mothership almost a mile long. A million ghost legions surged, like a black tide, breaking into enemy lines, starting brutal boarding battles. This is a massacre across time and space. This is Earth's civilization's most furious roar against predators. Lin Chan stood atop Kunlun, watching this gorgeous fireworks display. Wanqing, do you like it? Su Wanqing was already stunned, her eyes blurred with tears. Yes, it's the most expensive fireworks I've ever seen. It's not over yet. Lin Chan looked up at the largest flagship in the sky. The Abyss Mothership. If we're going to squander, let's do it thoroughly. Lin Chan raised his hand once more. System, one last purchase. I want to buy Earth's ascension. Push this planet to level 4 civilization for me. Confirm payment. Consuming all remaining. Fortune, loading in progress. Planetary engines loading. Quantum shields loading. Causality weapon. Earth's ascension starting. Boom. A white light bright enough to illuminate the whole galaxy burst out from Earth's core. At that moment, the Abyss fleet vanished like snow under sunlight. Not even a trace was left. Erased directly by causality. Earth's size didn't increase, but its energy level jumped up in that instant. From now on, this blue planet will become a true forbidden zone in the universe. 3 months later, the Abyss was gone, civilization rebooted, though there was a massive war. Thanks to Lin Chan's super abilities repairing everything, not only were the cities restored, they became even more sci-fi. The Sky Garden atop SKP has now been remodeled into A crystal palace floating among the clouds. The wedding venue. Zhu Wanqing wore the wedding dress called City Romance. This wedding dress was crafted by Lin Chen from the Abyss Mothership's core materials, combined with mermaid tears and deep-sea pearls. It is priceless. She was breathtakingly beautiful. Holding her father's arm, she walked step by step toward the man at the end of the red carpet. Lin Chen. Now, she is recognized as the leader of Earth, the guardian of human civilization. Yet she still smiled like a big kid. Her eyes were fixed only on the bride walking toward him. Duodwo wore the little flower girl dress, cheerfully lifting the train behind, smiling ear to ear. Mr. Lin Chen. As the officiant, it made Elder Qian's face flush with excitement. Do you take Miss Su Wanqing as your wife? Whether rich or poor, when the word poor was said, the guests below burst into kind laughter. Who doesn't know this all over the world? Lin Chen's personal account may be at zero now, but he owns the entire earth. Lin Chen looked into Su Wanqing's eyes. I spoke with deep affection. Miss Su Wanqing, will you marry Mr. Lin Chen? Whether I want to or not? Before Mr. Qian could finish, Su Wanqing jumped in to answer, making everyone burst into laughter. Amid falling petals and cheers, the two held each other tight and shared a passionate kiss. Just then, the long-lost system prompt sounded in Lin Chen's mind. Congratulations, host, for completing all main missions. The mission of the Tycoon system has been accomplished. The system will soon unbind and search for the next spark of civilization. Farewell gift. Host retains golden eyes and enhanced physique abilities. Goodbye, host. May you find lifelong happiness in this world you bought yourself, and live a happy life. Lin Chen was stunned for a moment. He was unbound from the system that had accompanied him. From a delivery boy to the king of the world. It's really leaving now. A trace of melancholy welled up inside. But soon he let it go, because he could feel Su Wanqing's warmth in his arms. He could hear Duodwo's laughter, and see the sincere blessings from everyone in the audience. He didn't need the system anymore. He already owned the most precious treasure in the world. What's wrong, Lin Chen? Su Wanqing noticed his distraction and gently asked. Lin Chen snapped back to reality and looked at the woman he loved deeply, showing his brightest smile. It's nothing, I just had my slush fund confiscated. Su Wanqing couldn't help but laugh. She leaned closer and whispered in his ear. It's okay, tonight I'm all yours. And I've deposited the company's 100 billion. All onto this card. The password is your birthday. Su Wanqing quietly slipped a card into Lin Chen's hand. Lin Chen looked at the card, then at his blushing wife. Suddenly, he realized this soft life was amazing. Honey, let's go on our honeymoon. To where? Lin Chen looked up at the vast starry sky. I heard the sunset on Mars is pretty nice. Since we've bought Earth, let's go develop Mars while we're at it. You're impossible, you big spender. The sunshine was perfect, the breeze gentle. Lin Chen held Su Wanqing, under the gaze of the whole world, walking toward their happy future. And the legend of the ultimate tycoon will forever be told under these stars.